Yo, people, welcome back to another stream of Two Up Front. I'm your host, Ace, and as always, I'm with my brother, Major. How are you doing today, my guy?
Hey, you know how it goes, bro. Blessed and highly favored, man. Blessed and highly favored. What are you telling me?
Hey, man, yeah, can't complain, end of the first quarter, we go into the next one, so I think just trying to plan some stuff, make some changes, but yeah, no, I can't complain. We thank God. But today, we got a lot to talk about, bro. It's going to definitely be a packed stream, so I think we should just get right into it. Just for the people who obviously are tuning in now, we're going to tune in later, just a bit of a heads up on what to expect from this stream. So we're going to, Tommy T, Tuchel took his first England squad, first couple of games. I thought it'd be interesting to kind of talk about our first reactions to that, maybe talk about the team going forward. I think there's been some interesting topics that's come off the back of it. So I'm touching that a little bit. Then Nigeria, bro, obviously, I know, the people should know that, obviously, as much as we want England to do well, Nigeria is our first son. That's our first love. That's the country that we need to do well. And right now, it's looking very, very scary, bro. The US abroad, these man, they look like they're not going. That's what it's looking like right now. So we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna just do a little roundup, I guess, to touch on the cup fixtures this weekend and just general Premier League, just catch up, reflect on what happened prior to the break, look at what's coming up in the future. So definitely a lot to get into it. So yeah, we'll start. But yeah, I think the first place to start was I don't think we really spoke about it in too much detail, but I wanted to get your take on, I guess, your initial reaction to Tommy T's first England squad, and like whether you agreed, what players you felt maybe it was a bit egregious for him to leave out. So like to kind of help with that, I'm just sharing my screen and just show, like, I guess, the full squad. We kind of talk about it, kind of discuss, like, I guess, our thoughts on who went. But yeah, does anyone kind of jump out to you, I guess, at the start anyway, that you think, yeah, we should talk about?
Well, obviously, like Dan Burn, he had a great week, obviously, with the cup final victory, the cup final goal, and then obviously also getting the England call up. So yeah, obviously, and then obviously Miles Lewis Skelly as well, man. Like, obviously, it was great to see him get the call up. I think that was well deserved as well. And yeah, I'm sure we'll go on to talk about his performances. So yeah, I think there was a couple surprising inclusions. I think Henderson, that was definitely surprising. Yeah, I thought we'd passed that. Like, yeah, and so that was therefore a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. And it'll be interesting to see what his involvement is like in future squads. I think obviously Rashford, he got a call up as well after the Villa move. I think Kyle Walker as well. As well, again, like, I think he's another player, like, not as far along as Henderson as regards to kind of, I think a lot of people view him as someone who is kind of like in the past as it pertains to England and the national team. But I think Walker, yeah, that raised a lot of eyebrows as well. Like, okay, like, what direction are we going in? So yeah, I think mission wise, I think the Nottingham Forest boys, I think they were hard done by. Yeah, I think Callum Hudson-Odoi, I think Morgan Gibbs-White, I think, yeah, I know Morgan Gibbs-White, it was weird, like, he got included,
Yeah,
and then not, and then like, so yeah, like, I think, yeah, those were my initial. Oh, and Reece James as well, which, yeah, I'm sure we'll go on to talk about him as well. And I think with Reece is pretty much just the thing of fitness. I think that's really is. I think we know when he is fit and he's healthy, then it's a without a doubt thing. I think his issue is just fitness. So yeah.
No, it's interesting. I have we're gonna have to debate on him a little bit when we get to, I guess, like, what we see going forward as England's best squad. But I feel like, yeah, I agree with everything that you said. I think the Henderson one, that's the only one that I think I've cooled down a bit more than I was initially, because I think the more I've kind of seen, I guess, different takes from people in terms of I guess, what he brings to the squad as well. And the fact that he is an experienced player at Liverpool, he has won big trophies. As much as I don't maybe rate him individually as a player, as much as I'm looking at, like you say, the Morgan Gibbs Whites, and I'm thinking, yeah, he deserves to get called up. But then I look on the other side and I say, as much as it would be cool for Gibbs White to get called up, it's like you got Bellingham, like Foden we'll talk about, you have Foden, and so you have players in that, you have Rodgers, you have players in that position that most like as much as you deserve to be in the squad, I don't know whether you're making the lineup either. So it's kind of like then when people start telling me the intangibles of, I guess, what you get from the leadership or the experience of a Henderson, I'm like, if you just don't take any of those type of players, you take just the young up and coming ones, do you kind of lose that as well? I don't know what your take on that is. But I think that kind of perspective has made me a bit more cool. You know me, I was like, yeah, Henderson, that's crazy. But the more I looked at the players that Gibbs White is competing against, even if he makes the squad, I'm like, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe you think, what do you think?
I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I hear it, but I don't hear it. Like, you know what it is? I think the intangible argument, I think I understand what you're saying. And yeah, there are definitely players who like you need, who have experience, who can help impact the dressing room. But I feel like in that squad, you do have some players with experience, and I think you've got a lot of big personalities there as well. Like even some of the younger players, like I think, you know, they rapidly got experience. And I think, yeah, like that's the thing as well. Like they would know more as regards to what his actual impact is in that dressing room. So there's things that I'm not privy to. So like it's tough from that. It's tough to argue that point. But just from as regards to what the information I do know, then yeah, I'm bringing Morgan Gibbs White. But yeah, like obviously, yeah, he will know more than me. So yeah.
No, I hear it, and ultimately too, I feel like you get one of those players, and I feel like Walker, which we will touch on. Like I think we spoke about this, I guess, during these matches that he probably. I want to hope that he's an inclusion because maybe there's quite a few players in that defense that maybe would have gone that are injured and maybe missing. But yeah, I'm not trying to hear Henderson and Walker. And Walker, I don't think he's even a good role model anyway, from what I see. I don't know him personally, but at least Henderson, because I don't know. There's nothing crazy like in terms of he's has come out. But hey,
I think it's strictly football. They're probably thinking of, bro, in that capacity, isn't it?
Boy, I know. I think so too. It has to be. But yeah, so I think you only get one of those players. So I feel like, yeah, going forward, if he's gonna take Henderson, cool, but Walker can't go too. That's my kind of overall take. Like you get one of those players that you think you're not really here because I expect you to do much for the team, but you're just here because you're gonna be an older head that can help me, or like I guess when I'm not there as the manager. I'm saying you can be my eyes and you can come feedback to me. Like you might need an inside guy, and maybe Henderson's that inside guy for him. That's just a perspective that I think I'm warming to a little bit. But overall, yeah, I think you only get one of those players. So we'll see what happens going forward. I know there's a lot of criticism on this first squad, but
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to see no Henderson and no World Cup squad, bro.
Yeah, it would be crazy. I can't
man. Respectfully, like, do you get me? But nah, man. Yeah, I'm not trying to see it. Do you get me? Because there's even other players here, like obviously who, like, yeah, there's injuries and like, fam. Someone like a Cobby, for example, he started the Euros final. Like, do you get me? He's out in Henderson. Hey, man, your time. your time.
Yeah, and to be fair, though, even looking at the squad, I don't know what you felt. Oh, you know what? Maybe let's actually touch on. Maybe we can just touch on it in general, I guess, over the two matches, that the kind of like key takeaways. I was gonna go do one, but I think just in general, just thinking about, I guess, the Albania match and then the Latvia match afterwards. Like, because Rashford in that left wing position was another one that I'm looking at that position as well. And I'm saying, to be fair, in the Latvia game, I've been seeing it for a while now that he just looks like he just doesn't have the hunger anymore when it comes to football. It's been my opinion for a while now. And this game, I can say this guy was actually really trying. Like he was really going at his guy.
Where are you going with this?
Oh yeah, no, he was really going at. He was really going at his guy. He was trying to do the flicks. He's trying to take them on the outside. But all of that said, I still said, brother, man, I still need much, much, much more than this. Like, I'll give you, first, like, kind of time back in the squad. He's still just maybe trying to build his confidence back off the back of, I guess, this Villa move. But that position too, like you said, like with the Hudson-Odoi, I'm looking at Gordon probably should be the start in that position. I'm looking at there's competition in that place, and that's another type of player that if he's not flying towards the end of the season, like around, he shouldn't be going either. Like I think those are the kind of names that will also name me as well. Where take a Hudson-Odoi because he's had a better season. That's the ones that I'll more argue with as well going forward with Tuchel. But I will allow him that's his first squad, and we'll kind of see how it develops and how these players kind of grow. But yeah, go on. You're looking like suspicious.
I'll just say what Henderson, but
my argument with Henderson, I don't rate him at all, and I think he's finished, and I think him going is criminal. And you trust me, I'm with you in terms of if he doesn't go, I'm not gonna argue Henderson should be there. But I'm trying to come with the other side of when I've heard a perspective that I do agree with in terms of I can see the value of you bringing an older player that can give you something that other players in the squad might not give you, especially when you're looking at Gibbs White, who you're competing in a roster of good midfielders as well. Like I don't expect Henderson to play. Gibbs White, if he comes, I expect him to now be trying to is Bellingham, it's Foden, it's Kobe, it's what's his name at Crystal Palace, Wharton. Like there's quite a lot of midfielders there that could all argue they could all argue to start, but only 3 of you can start anyway. There's Rice. Yeah. So it's like if you don't go, I'm not also like, it's absolute outrage. That's why it's a bit different with Henderson. Whereas on the left wing, I think there's enough players there that I think like Gordon, Hudson-Odoi, like Rashford can't be good. Rashford, he can't be going for any other reason and you think he's better than those other 2 players. Like that's my kind of a difference.
Also, I think obviously it also depends on like as regards to like with someone like a Morgan Gibbs White, how deep do you want to play him? I think that's also another thing as well, because that central midfield position is interesting because like someone like a Bellingham, it looks like he's getting utilized further up the pitch, more in that 10 position. And when we're talking about like players that you can play deeper, it's going to be interesting to see like who's actually available or who's actually going to be picked to play in those positions. Because obviously I think Curtis Jones, like he's someone that obviously was getting playing time there, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens from that perspective. But I think with Rashford, we know everything that's happened at Man United. Obviously he's gone to Villa, and I think even just watching his performances at Villa, I think, and even at England as well, it's interesting because I know sometimes people used to say that he shoots too much. And I think now he's really in this like trying to create for others' bag. Like I don't know if that rhetoric has kind of like got in his head, and it's like he's trying to be a provider. Obviously, we know that like at Villa, him and Asensio, they've formed a good connection. Where it's like he's assisted him several times, but also I think Rashford for England, he's not performed bad. Like I'm talking about holistically, like when you look at his England career, like I think like he's not someone, again, we're gonna have conversations about other players, but there's some players where it's like you look at them in the England shirt and you're just like whereas I think Rashford, he's not someone that I'll look at and think like you've just been a disappointment in the England shirt. So like it'll be interesting to see like how he performs and stuff like that. But I think that left wing position is like, I think it's there to be claimed. Like I think it's there to be claimed. So be interesting.
No, I definitely agree. Like I'm also not saying that it's he can't take that position if he kind of grows from here. But it was just it's one of those performances where I'm like, give you credit for like a lot of stuff I've criticized or thought that you haven't really had recently. But it's also them ones where it's like, as much as you've tried, it's Latvia. And like you should be doing this guy so much more than like it's not like beating him, and then the crosses aren't really hitting anyone. So it's like I expected more from him as well with the energy he was playing with. But again, it's still one game, so we'll kind of see. But in my eyes right now, I think Gordon's starting left winger for England based on what I've seen so far. I think it's on Rashford, and I think even Eze is a strong competitor there too. So I feel like Rashford, he's one is like he really needs to show us now that he should be first or even second in that position right now. It's kind of like my overall thing, but he has time in it. So, and it's a good thing for England that there's enough players there to compete. But I feel like maybe this might be a good kind of time to maybe even kind of get into like our thoughts and like England's best 11 going forward. So let's talk about it. Let's see. I guess to start off with, I think it's always very, very straightforward. The man that for England, like you say, that always does his job, man. Like I feel like if we're talking about steady, like overall consistent, like makes great saves in general, I think Pickford is definitely the. I don't know though. Actually, do you think Pope has anything to say there now being fit? Like, do you feel like he can speak to Pickford a bit when it comes to England starting lineup?
I would go for Pickford. I think he's like overall he's done well. He's done well in the England shirt. Like I don't think he should be displaced. Like
No, I agree. I think I'm in agreement. I think Pickford is also in my starting team for England. And then man, like we kind of touched on my boy, my boy Lewis Skelly, because England, that left back position team has been another one that's plagued them. That's like during the last few competitions, no actual left way player in that position, or no one that can actually stretch the pitch in that position, or just place when they just go there, come in, and to be fair to Skelly, I feel like he had a really good cameo over those 2 games where it's like, he was confident, getting on the ball. The goal was lovely, lovely pass by Bellingham. Like he timed his run beautifully, put it in the back of the net, which is why I love Arsenal fans too this season are saying that, that left kind of centre mid position too. Like going forward, he actually is very tidy in opposition's box. So I think we definitely want to see him in those positions more. So I feel like for England, this was like a really good cameo for him.
That's the position that he was playing in the academy.
Like
he's a midfielder. Like that's what he was. So it makes sense.
That's probably where he's gonna continue developing as well. But I guess we'll see kind of what happens in Arsenal. But for England, I feel like England needed a left back, and it'll be interesting to see when Hall comes back as well. Just in terms of the dynamic between those two, like when you play Hall, when you play Skelly, I guess depending on the position and what you kind of want from your balance in your team. But I'll still say probably right now, I say Hall is the starting left back for sure. Don't know if you think there's any other names that you throw in there.
I think it all depends. A lot of it depends on how England want to play or how they want to approach it. Like I think if you're looking for, because I heard Tuchel talk about Lewis Skelly. Was it? I saw some quotes, and essentially he was saying that like he likes it, like when he kind of like inverts into that midfield position, like that's where he sees him being really strong. So if that's something that he wants, then obviously Miles will be able to do that very well. If you want more of a traditional fullback, then Lewis Hall, again, he's been very good this season, so he'll be able to do that very well. So like I think it's also a tactical thing. Like if you're looking at maybe trying to get more bodies in that midfield, then Miles Lewis Skelly, that's someone that you would consider more strongly. But I think it just kind of depends on how you're gonna go about it, because I think, like you were referring to, typically it was the right back position where England had a lot of depth, but in the left back position, England didn't at all. Like I know there was times Trippier, who's a right back, he was playing left back, and obviously it's typically been Shaw, who has a lot of injury problems. So I think that position is up for grabs again. Like I think that's like a who's gonna show through their performances for their club, for the performance through their performances for the country, who can show that they should be starting. I think that left back position, I think that's a competition still. And so I think currently Miles Lewis Skelly, he's like he's done well there, just even obviously with the debut and stuff. So like I think it's one of them ones where it's like he's nudged himself in front, and then it's like cool, like let's see what the response is from Lewis Hall. But I think that position's up for grabs.
No, I hear it. That's why I feel like maybe we should have set the rules ahead of doing this. I feel like what we should do is try to build the best team that we think. I guess how maybe like because like you say, I do agree that who you play left back is impact. Like is also dependent on who I would play left wing. Because again, in terms of which players are holding the line, which players are overlapping. So I feel like let's try to build a team, I guess, in our opinion, just based on like who we think England's best team is in terms of like how we would set them up. I feel like that's probably the more interesting way to kind of deal with it. So I hear it. I'm actually not mad because I think we can kind of maybe do it that way too. I'm thinking like me for what I said earlier. I think for me, England's starting left winger right now is Gordon. And with that said, I think if I am going Gordon, I think I would actually go Lewis Skelly at left back. Because again, I always think you need that balance between if you're going to have a left back that's now overlapping, maybe I'll be more inclined to have a left winger that maybe will cut in more. That can maybe more like a Rashford type player. But if I'm going to have a player that's going to come into midfield, then I don't mind having a player that's going to stay out wide maybe a bit more or stretch the pitch a bit more, if that makes any sense. So that's why I'm kind of leaning in a duo. I'm thinking maybe Skelly and Gordon. But I don't know. What do you think in that position? How would you approach it?
I think that's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously for club, like Lewis Hall and Gordon, they play together. So I thought you would have said that, like, yeah, if Gordon's there, then Lewis Hall might be the better match because they've got that kind of continuity at club level. And I think Gordon, he also does like to come in at times as well. So yeah, it's an interesting point as regards to. Also, what are we doing this based off? Are we doing this based off of just because I think it's important to establish the rules moving forward. Is this based off of right now? Are we taking form into account? Are we taking fitness into account? Like, how are we going about this?
I'm going on form and like I guess what we've seen so far. Yeah, what we've seen so far this season. Like,
okay,
if you were to pick the best England 11 right now, based on what you've seen so far this season,
based on what we've seen,
that's why I'm going with it.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, I know again, like if you the argument with the Hall and Gordon, I completely hear it as well. Like I think that's a valid argument, valid point for reason to play Hall. I think again, I just think of how I would approach it. I feel like so I may not necessarily want to approach it the way what's it called, Newcastle approach it. But yeah, if you think that would be the best way to approach it, then yeah, feel free. So yeah, how would you approach that left wing position in your opinion?
Me, if we're doing it right now, I'll say Miles has been putting in great performances. I'll just stick with Miles. Okay. Like I said, he scored on his debut. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna reward that by benching you.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it. Okay, cool. And then, cool. I guess we can start from the back then. Then this is the one that I need your help with, bro. Because again, with England, I'm looking at these centre backs, and even Gay across these two matches, they were both just making me so uncomfortable. As much as like I rate them individually, I was looking at them. These don't make me uncomfortable. But yeah, I don't know what you think.
I'm playing Konsa.
Okay,
Konsa is one of them. Yeah, I'm playing Konsa.
Okay.
Oh, mad! I just see Wendy's comment about Jed Spence. He's another.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, he's another big
player that missed out
as well. Yeah, he's another one. Like, yeah. Oof, yeah. That left back position is going to be okay.
Yeah, no, it's tough. He's had a very good season too.
Yeah, no.
Again, I think it's that thing of like, what do you want from these players, right?
Yeah.
It's what do you want from these players?
Did you see his interview as well?
No, what did you say?
Like, I think he had an interview with like Rio and that as well, and they asked him about like the Miles Lewis Skelly celebration against Man City and stuff. And I'm like, what do you think about that? And then he was like, yeah, bad boy. Like, yeah, and they were like, yeah, this is like, he said something like, yeah, Haaland said, who the F are you? Man showed him who he is.
Yeah, no.
It's like bad boy, but yeah, he seems to be like, Jed Spence is another one. Like, he looks like he's got like he looks like he's got a very like
personality.
Yeah, strong personality. So yeah, it was making me laugh. But yeah,
nah, he's definitely unlucky to miss the squad as well for sure. I forgot to add him in when we're talking about those players. So you know.
Yeah. Cool. So what Konsa?
Yeah.
Then hold on, what do you think of Konsa?
I don't mind Conte, you know, like I actually
Okay.
don't mind him. I don't mind. That's why I didn't argue with it. I
Okay.
don't mind him. I
Okay.
feel
Yeah.
like
So
it's
Gay is the
the
one that's
English.
worrying
Yeah,
you.
Gay is the one that, bro. So just doesn't give you any confidence. I'm just saying, bro, you make me uncomfortable.
You know
I
what
don't
it
know
is.
how else to say it. You
You
make me
know what it is.
uncomfortable.
Sometimes though,
Mm,
sometimes with centre backs, like I think the partnership is very key. Like sometimes it does take a few games to just secure a partnership. Like, do you
mm,
get me? Like I think you've got like some generational centre backs where you put anyone next to them and they look good.
mm,
But also, I think even with that, you still want a understanding and a good partnership. Like, do you get me? So it's like I think sometimes, it does take a little while to establish that. Like, I think that's also something there.
mm.
Um. So yeah, who you thinking about for the second spot then? If
Again, like Gay, he makes me uncomfortable, but I also don't like. It's Dan Burn. I'm thinking who are the? I shouldn't. I think I got rid of the squad. I want to see who the actual other options are as well. Yeah, I've got rid of it now. But yeah, who comes to mind? Yeah, Dan Burn, Konza. Who are the other players I
so
got called up as well?
are you not like considering people like Stones and
Stones when he's fit, I think he plays.
yeah,
You can't really trust Stones to stay fit right now. So I feel like we need to probably build this team with not including
based
Stones.
on people that
Yeah,
are fit currently?
off it.
Okay,
Yeah, if he's fit, I think he plays. He takes one of those positions,
cool.
but I
I
just can't trust him.
um yeah, I want to see the squad again.
Mm,
You for
yeah.
them.
Du- 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 du.
Let me see if I can quickly get it up.
All right, cool. You get up.
Yeah.
And I think, Konza, yeah. So yeah, I think Gay is a shout. It's just, I don't know, man. But then I guess it's also that thing like we're saying about how we want to play. So if we also want our team to be, I guess, on the front foot, how Tuchel wants them to be, which is pressing high up the pitch, then I don't know where I want Dan Burn on the halfway line either. So
Okay, so
that's another consideration. But yeah,
I think so. Defenders, we've got Dan Burn, we've got Levi Colwill, we've got
bro,
Mark
if
Tate,
Cole was serious, he should be in this team, but he's just not serious.
we got. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We got Reece James, Ezri Konsa, obviously Miles Lewis Skelly, Tino Livramento. We got Jarrell Quansah and we got Kyle Walker. Those are the defenders.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to go Gay, but on a technicality. Like I think I'd want
Mark
someone that gives me more
Mark
confidence.
Gay is a good player though.
He
He
is.
is
I
a
think
good player.
I think it
Yeah,
was these games. I
he
think I
is
was
a
just
good
watching
player.
him and he
Yeah,
just looked nervous. He just
yeah.
made me nervous. But he is a
He's a
good
good
player.
player. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he is a good player. He's done very well for Palace. Like, yeah, like I think with some of these players, like they don't have a lot to go off. So it's like,
Mm.
yeah, like we're only going off like the sample that we've got to go off isn't super significant. So yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. So yeah, I'll put him in for now. But I think if Stones was fit, Stones is definitely taking one of those two positions, I'll say. And then this is the interesting one. We're not gonna get into him too much here, and so we'll leave it to a bit later. This whole
Okay.
Trent conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the question I had for you here was just with Reece James, and like we say, the talent is so clearly there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's the injuries, and it's just do you feel like a fit Reece James over these last few years? This conversation between him and Trent, who are you backing in that debate overall? Or do you just feel like his inability is also, I guess, a score a cross against him, and you have to then lean more to everything Trent has actually done? But yeah, what's your take on that conversation?
A fit Reece James is a problem. Like I've rated him so highly for ages. Like I rated him when he was at Wigan. Like, yeah, like he's a problem. Again, it is just the injuries. I think it's the classic case of like Trent is generational attacking wise. Like, yeah, he's the best. Like with some of the passes, the line breaking passes, his delivery, etc. But Reece James, again, as you saw with the free kick, this guy has also got tech. Like he's got tech. Like, do you get me? Like attacking wise as well. Like he has got tech. Like, do you get me? He's not a joke. And then defensively as well, he's more resolute than Trent. Like, do you get me? Like, I don't even think that's a conversation. So I think that's the thing. Like, Reece James has a better balance. Like, do you get me? Because it's like, I think, yeah, attacking wise, he's not necessarily Trent, but he's also no scrub. Like, do you get me? Like, he can find those passes. Like, he can send those deliveries into the box. Like, he's not a joke. And you've seen what he can do from set pieces there as well. So, and defensively, yeah, like, do you get me? He's better than Trent, just simple as.
Yeah.
But it's the injuries. It's like, can he stay fit? And it's just one of them ones where I don't think we've had enough time to know yet. Like, off the back of like his constant injuries, like, I think we just need to see a sustained period. So it is kind of just like a waiting game, like, just to see if he's if he can sustain, because I think that's the thing as well, because it's like, it's hard to make a judgment when you play a few games here and then we don't see you for so many more games. Like, it makes things difficult to judge. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
No, it is very, very tough. And yeah, and I think ultimately I definitely do put a cross on that, like, availability stuff, because like you say, I think it's a bit easy, or but not easier, using the right word. I'm sure mentally it must be crazy. It's just always be it didn't have to come back and bounce back. I can't even imagine what that must be like for a footballer. But I feel like, in terms of, I have to also give the player that has shown me he can be consistent for a whole season, for 2 seasons, for back to back, the way Trent has as well, that James, just because of the injuries, hasn't really been able to show either. Just because even when he is in like a really good place, he would then get injured, and then now he's starting again, trying to get back to a really good place. So it's kind of like that starting and
It's not his
stopping.
fault as well.
Yeah, it's not his fault at all.
Yeah,
It's not.
but,
And unfortunately, with football, right, there's some players that would go down to be one of the greatest ever, but their bodies just limits what they can achieve, which is unfortunate. But I guess it's life as well. Like, you have to deal with what you have in it. But I think, yeah, definitely to echo your words, yeah, overall balance, I think Reece James is definitely the overall balance, like better right back, I would say. But yeah, the technical ability, like, he's a technical ability. Having Chenko put in that free kick as well. That's how crazy both of them are.
Yeah,
that's how crazy. That's how crazy.
We see him do it. Yeah.
So that's how ridiculous he is as well, right? But I feel like this one with me, in terms of answering it, I think this is really dependent on who England are playing. I feel like England are playing the type of teams we're seeing in this what's it called, World Cup qualifiers, the Latvias, and bro, put Trent and let Trent just put balls in behind. But England are playing against a team that's maybe a tough opposition, who maybe he's going against a tougher winger. Then I'll say I would much rather have Reece James in that right back position. So I feel like it really is dependent for me on who England's playing in this game to determine who should be the starting right back. And also with Reece James as well, because with Maresca, he's trying to do this whole centre mid gimmick. I also don't, even with England, as good as the free kick was, I don't know whether he still has that dynamic running on the outside that he had before. Like, we haven't still really seen that.
We've got to see. I think that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing with Reece James, like, because that's the thing. Like, we need the sample size to judge off. Like, we need to see you consistently at right back every week, running up and down. Like, yeah, and I think that will help us make like a better judgment. So it's difficult to make that judgment when we've not been able to see it consistently. I think that's the difficult thing. And yeah, like I said, Trent is generational, because that's the interesting thing, man, because Trent is generational, and it's like, yeah, if you've got opposition that sits back, and yeah, obviously we know what Trent can do with the passes and stuff like that, and yeah, I don't think there's anyone better than him, like, from right back when it comes to that. But also, it's like, bro, like, on Reece James is not a slouch. Like, he's actually not.
See that cross he puts.
Like, he's not, bro. Like, he's not. Like, he's. I think that's the thing. It's like, because it's actually crazy, because I think, like, sometimes it's easy to forget, like, how good this guy is. Like, bruv, technically, like, he's good. Like, he's really good. So, but yeah, fitness fitness. So I think we need to wait and see. We like as regards to his fitness. So I hear it until then. Yeah, Trent. Like,
all right, cool,
yeah.
cool. Let's go. We'll go Trent for now, just based on I think all of that. I think that's fair for now. He's definitely enough to hold that position until we see. Because I don't know. Merska too needs to be careful with what he's doing with James. So you don't like stop James's right back start because you want to do this centre mid gimmick. Like Chelsea have enough centre mids that regime does not need.
You know what it is though? I think he's again. Man, I just feel for this guy. I think partially what he might be trying to do is also just prevent him from getting injured. So it's just like, but it's just,
But again, I mean, it's them ones where that's the reality. Then then it's Trent. Like it's unfortunately you're not going to start midfield over anyone. It's just Trent right back. That's what the reality is. So for his sake, I hope that's not the reality. And Merska's just being stupid. But we'll see with more time. So I think that's What are you thinking? Just looking at our back four. I don't know though. A little bit of me still would put Reece James right back because I don't know in the bigger games whether this is the back four I can believe in. This is a back four I would trust to keep out France and Brazil and Argentina. I don't know. But let's see. You can come back to. I think the midfield too build up will also kind of help. Maybe we have to think about the defense when we're thinking about this midfield. But you have to consider it all, bro.
You see the type of manager I am.
What are you telling me? Or free center attacking mids?
Might get exposed.
Bro, now this is why, I think football too is so easy when you're just on the side with no jeopardy. Because I know some men that are talking online and putting the craziest line.
Hey, bro, Rice is gonna have to be the 6 of all 6s because you see what I'm trying to do.
Man, I'm just surprised you're going for right. But you know what I thought I had though? You know what I would actually do? Because even over these 2 games, something I was also thinking. Again, it's really dependent on the team, and obviously the midfield makeup will be dependent on just like what you're going up against. But I think it was the Albania match. I also don't. I think against a team that's gonna sit back like that, I don't want to see Rice and Bellingham. There's a little bit of me that says Bellingham, you're gonna make these crazy runs, but maybe the manager I am too. I said you have to start deeper and make those runs because it feels too defensive when I have both of them. So I don't know. I know Bellingham was making like the late runs into the box as well. He's good at that for England, but he's still, because of what I see him do for Madrid as well, I know he also can provide that kind of more defensive solidarity, whatever that word is. Like, so I'm just like, I'm looking at them two and I'm thinking the third.
What are you saying?
Saying
when you say I would want to see Rice and Bellingham, what do you mean?
Against teams that are going to sit back, I don't want to see both of them start. I feel like I don't even mind if Rice is on the bench, but it's Bellingham and maybe another 2 more balanced midfield.
Bro, Bellingham saying, bro. 6.
Bro, maybe not 6, but between the 3 of them. Nah, bro. Listen, I would do it. If you're playing a team that's gonna park the bus, I feel like you can do that personally.
Okay, hey, I thought I was going for it. I said,
it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. He does it for Real Madrid though. I've seen him do it
with the. What, Bellingham be the anchor?
Not the anchor, but like he can be defensively solid enough. Between him and another 8, I think with him and another player, they can hold it down.
Yeah, but this is, I think that's the thing. When you're looking at this England team, who else is going to be the person with him? Who are you thinking of?
Bro, you can do a young Kais Jones.
Bellingham. Oh, you're gonna play Jones.
I'm saying I would do that more against teams that sit back than Rice and Bellingham. Because I just feel like again I'm not gaining enough going forward with the 2 of you.
Because I think the idea of that when they're doing that is that like Rice is sitting and Bellingham is playing advanced.
Yeah, but even Bellingham playing advanced is late runs. It's always, maybe that doesn't really. I don't know. Maybe I like the players in the final third that are picking out the passes.
But I think it's interesting. There's loads of ways to go about this, but I think for a lot of people, then the conversation would be like it's interesting because I've never seen the Rice Bellingham as in like a Rice or Bellingham. Most of the time, what it is that Rice is like there. Like he's going to be the anchor. And then people will either say Bellingham plays like, so you either have Rice sitting and then you've got two advanced eights, or you have the Rice Bellingham double pivot with the out and out 10. But I've never seen the Bellingham the deepest. And then you've got two midfielders alongside him. So a lot of people will say, all right, cool. Like if Rice is sitting, and then most people aren't going to drop Bellingham. But as regards to him playing in like one of those more advanced positions, there'll be a conversation there as regards to like, okay, so who's going to miss out in one of those positions there. But not going with the Rice is not going with Rice is bold.
Like, hey man, listen, like I said, I would only do it in select games. I think in general, in terms of my main balance midfield, I think Rice would be there because I think he's England's best six. But I think there's a lot of games that England will play in these competitions too that the opposition are parked in their box, and you need players that can just unlock it. And I feel like that's where you don't necessarily need Rice. If you have Trent there as well, I don't think you need. I feel like you have enough players in that in your team that you should be able to deal with these smaller nations.
But I think Rice is literally. Rice would be the only defensive minded player, like as regards to outside of your defense, because then literally you've got if you're going for it, then you would have Rice is sitting, and then literally you're either playing with two advanced 8s, 10s, whatever, your left wing, your right winger, and your striker there. Like, so it's like it's basically like, all right, cool, I'll clean up all of you, man. Go do the dirty work. Because I think if you play Bellingham where Rice plays, the problem you may have is that I think it's discipline. Like, because he doesn't want to be there. Like, you get it?
But he can do it, man. If you can do it for Real Madrid, you can do it for England, bro.
Bro, but you know what you say, do it for Real Madrid, bro. He doesn't do it for Real Madrid like how you're saying he does it.
No, I think he does. I've seen him like against like City last year. Like the performance he was putting in, he wasn't doing late run Bellingham into the box. He was defensively solid.
No, but because, bro, there's a difference between getting stuck in it and being defensively solid, bro, and being the deepest lying midfielder.
But I'm also not saying he's the deepest line. I'm saying a 2 and then a 10 in front. Like,
I'm saying that's not
him as the actual 6.
No, I think that's different if you're playing the pivot. But then now, when you're looking at the pivot options as regards to like this England squad, then I think you're looking at Jones or Henderson.
Oh, you could do a Wharton or a Cobby. I don't know about Cobby.
I was looking at this squad. Sorry, I was looking at this squad. Cool. I was looking at this squad that was, because when you're talking about Latvia, I think Jones is the only person in this squad that you would pair next to him. So it's like, and then the question is that if you are playing Bellingham deeper and you're playing someone else next to him, is that less attacking than playing Rice there by himself and then having
but this is the issue,
10s?
Then this is the issue. Bellingham isn't my other 10 if I'm doing that. I think that's the crux of my problem. Is that I feel like I don't want Rice as the deepest 6 and there's Bellingham and someone else. I'm more saying Rice and there's 2 10s. If I'm gonna even play Rice, I'd rather that than Bellingham be my other attacking height. And that's
no, but that's what I'm saying. I think your thing is that you don't like Bellingham as the 10.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so I think that's a conversation as regards to you wanting to play someone else rather than Bellingham there. But I don't think you play Bellingham where Rice plays.
Yeah, no. Again, I think I agree that I wouldn't play him there, but I think I would play him as a 2 where he can still make runs, but his position is as a 2, and then there's a 10 in front of him that's doing that job. It's kind of how I would play it, but yeah.
So you would have him. So you would play him as a 2, but you don't want to play him with Rice. You would want to play him with someone.
I would play him with someone else that can provide what on the ball Rice doesn't provide with the passing.
And then you'll play 110.
Yeah. I think that gives me more confidence in terms of breaking down a low block than how it is now. If it's Rice, Bellingham, and someone else, it just feels more stale that way, in my opinion. Anyway, again, low sample size. That's just my initial takes and what I've seen so far watching them both play together. But but let's get into this though.
I was about to say no, because normally the criticism, because I know when Southgate used to get criticized, what people were criticizing for is that he's playing like the need to play that two there. Like a lot of people were saying, it's like you don't need two people there. You need one, and then let everyone else play more advanced. But then obviously the counter to that was that it's too attacking. It's too attacking. That's why people were saying, okay, yeah, you need to play someone in there next to him. And then I think in the Euros, that's where Kobe became more of a solution, because it was just like, oh, you know what, you can play Kobe next to Rice, and Kobe is someone who's able to like progress with the ball and like has much more creativity than if you're playing like Henderson, for example. And then obviously like you're playing Bellingham further up. But then I think that's the thing, like we'll get onto it, because we'll be interested to see if you don't like Birmingham and Bellingham higher up, then I think that's gonna be an interesting conversation. But what are you thinking then with your midfield then?
So again, this is I'm looking at Trent, and because I'm looking at Trent, I have to put Rice there. Like Trent and Rice come hand in hand with me. I don't know what you think, but I feel like I need someone that can do that work, that can cover that side of the pitch. Is why
with me, Rice would have played anyway.
Yeah,
like I would have played Rice anyway. Like I would have
What are you thinking for the other two? Because I really like Rodgers as well, man. Like Rodgers, I feel like his gameplay, like his game style, the running of the ball. I feel like he's something that England don't have in another player as well. So also having a player, I guess Bellingham, similar in terms of the ability, but that's why again it's like I'm looking at the three. I'm just like Rice, Bellingham. It just feels too. I think I would play that in the bigger games. Don't get me wrong. We're playing France. We're playing Argentina. I'll play that team because I think it's more solid as well. It has a good balance. But I'm thinking in the other games that England should be comfortably winning, I don't want that to be the starting main team. Is my overall, I think, a point I'm trying to get across. But what were you thinking though? What would you go for your three, or I guess other two, either side of Rice, and we can kind of talk about it.
I think it depends on. So with me, it depends on who. It depends on. So with me personally, when I'm looking at this team, I'm thinking like if I can go further ahead, if you don't mind, like just because I think like that whole attack, it kind of all interlinks with each other. So
okay, what are you thinking?
Hold on, wait. We're basing it on players that are fit right now, isn't it?
Oh nah, this is England's best 11 based on what we've seen so far this season. So I don't think they necessarily, because this is like what we going into, let's say the next World Cup, what we think Tuchel, we had the power to decide he's 11, what 11 would be.
I think the Saka goes on the right.
Yeah,
I think
I feel like his injury, his stock has just risen exponentially.
I think even before that, I think Saka's again, because I think like he's performed well for England. Like, do you get me? So it's like then I think Kane will go up front.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Harry Clase. Yeah.
So I think that will be that. Then as regards to the midfield, so let me just to understand where it is that you were saying. So you would kind of go for more of like a 4-2-3-1. You want someone next to Rice.
I want someone,
and then an out and out 10.
Again, it's now I'm questioning myself because I think it's not that one. I don't think it's necessarily that I want someone next to Rice. I feel like it's either Rice or Bellingham is my overall bigger picture thing. So it's like if Rice, then I think that's where it's tough. Overall, I know Bellingham's going to start in this midfield. I just overall just don't think it's the most creative midfield three that you can make. But I know he will play. So
I think because you you know, when you're talking about like with the I think when you're talking about like, oh, going it against like maybe the teams that are gonna sit back more so, or like against the bigger teams, you said that you would rather like you would then go with Rice and Bellingham.
Yeah.
I think I think the main thing here, I think, is because you don't see Bellingham as a 10. You don't like him there. Because I think if you're going with, because I think Rice and Bellingham, it looks different depending on how you're setting up. So there's Rice and Bellingham as a pivot where you've got two man there, and then obviously you've got the three in front, like you've got the out and out 10, you've got right wing, left wing, and then you've got Kane. Or you've got Rice as the deepest, as the 6, and then you've got two advanced 8s. Or you've got, like, do you get me? So or 2 10s or whatever it is that you want to call it. So I think your thing, again, this is not about what you think like they're gonna go with. This is about what you would want. I think what you're telling me is just that you just don't like Bellingham in those higher up positions. So I think that's what you're saying. So if you don't like Bellingham there, then what 2 players?
That's now the question. I guess that's the real question now. Is that with Rice, who do I think next to Rice would complement him in terms of can still give us the like creativity in that midfield? And then I guess that's when you start looking at. I guess you're looking at the Whartons, but he's still young. You're looking at Curtis Jones, but he could be good in that position next to Rice as well. But yeah, I think that's what it is as well. It's like I look at Rice and Bellingham. I think it's not just that I don't like Bellingham as a 10. I also look at both of them as like neither of them are like players in midfield that like keep it ticking. If that makes sense. Like can the ball that the goal for what's it called Lewis Kelly was lovely, but I don't think that's like Bellingham's game. I think that's the point I'm trying to make is that I want a midfielder next to Rice where that's his game. His game is making those deep line passes in behind and creating opportunities from slightly deeper. Whereas Bellingham, he's superpower for me is late runs into the box and maybe being an extra body, being dangerous in the box. I feel like that's not how I would build my team if I had my choice.
I think I understand what it is that you're trying to say. I think you are underplaying a bit of Bellingham's on-ball ability as well, though. But I understand what you're saying. I think the thing is, though, then is that so who is that? Like,
I hear it.
Yeah.
I think overall, like I said, I think in the big games, I would play Rice and Bellingham. So I think I'm just happy to just go Rice and Bellingham. I feel like I'm more in the smaller games. That's where it's a question for me now, where it's like, in
the smaller games, I hear it's in the smaller games. I'm just thinking like who could do that? Like, I think is it a thing where it's like there's just a profile missing that you would like? Like, I'm thinking,
I feel like the profile that I have in mind is really Wharton. But I think he's just too young for me to confidently be like, yes, he's the guy to be in that position. I think what he is how I would play in my ideal, if that makes sense.
Because I think the type of player you're talking about, I think it's a profile that probably England lacks.
I think Wharton is that profile, though. He's just
That's the point that I'm making. I agree. Wharton is that profile. I'm saying you don't have loads of options. Like, do you get me? When you're talking about a deep line, because Kobe isn't that. Like, do you get me? So it's like, like when you're looking at it, Kobe isn't that. You don't want Henderson there. You don't want Gallagher there. Like, do you get me? So you're looking at, do you want Jones there? Like, I think
it's Jones or Watson. I feel like really.
Yeah, like I don't think I don't think we have a lot of that type of like deep lying playmaker. Like, do you get me? Like, I don't think.
And then that's why also in the smaller games, that's when I'm looking at like a Palmer and maybe a Rodgers or something. Like maybe again 2 attacking more 10s that and something like. I think that's when that's my ideal. I think that's the overall point I'm trying to make. Is that that's my ideal.
You know what it is, bro? Midfield. What it is. It's I've clocked it. I know what it is. It's you just don't fancy Bellingham in those higher positions because what you're saying that like if you had like a Palmer and a Rodgers, it would be Rice sitting and then you're playing with 2 10s. Like, do you get me? So it's just that when Bellingham plays there, you just don't see it as 2 10s because you're just like you're not my 10. Like
Yeah, I see him as an 8 more
that's your
than he
issue.
just
Yeah,
runs. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's your thing. Like I think that's what it is. So
yep.
yeah. So yeah, what do you want to do?
I think overall, like I said, I think in the bigger games too, I think Bellingham will be the starter. I think it's just
Yeah.
more in the
He's
smaller
therefore
games. I'll be I think he's a good. I think I'm probably also under Bellingham. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
I'm
he's
also
not
like
just
a
a
Rice
box
has to
crasher.
start as well.
And also Bellingham's not just a box crasher. Like I think like he's definitely got more to his game than just that. You know what it is? I think he's getting a bit of the Lampard treatment. Like whereas like I think Lampard, that's something that started to happen with him as well. It's like people started to know him as like because of like he's so good at crashing the box. Like he got known as like, hey man. Like I remember sometimes like when people would speak about Gerrard and Lampard, and for the record, I think Gerrard was better. But when people would speak about Gerrard and Lampard, it's like they'll be like, hey man, like, yeah, Lampard scored more goals, sure, but hey, but it's like you wouldn't want that guy, and you wouldn't want that guy trying to spot a pass, bro. Like, do you get me? If you want someone to crash the box, sure, go Lampard. But I'm thinking you man are doing Lampard dirty, bro. Like, do you get me? Like, he couldn't, like, he couldn't play. So I think you are being a bit harsh with Bellingham like that, but also as regards to stylistically the type of 10 you're talking about, I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, like I get it. Like, so yeah.
No,
I think
hear
that's
it.
yeah, I think that's one of them ones.
Yeah.
So if you're playing Bellingham and Rice, then so would this be the 10?
This will be to be fair, in this case, Bellingham is playing as the 8-10. It's not my ideal, but I think that's what he's playing.
No, I mean would this be like another 8-10? Like
this would definitely be a 10. Yeah, well, this would be a 10 attacking midfielder for sure.
So who are you thinking? Yeah,
again, man, if the guy he has recently, it would have been Palmer, but it's like he's kind of last few weeks hasn't been doing what he needs to do. But I feel like him at his best, I feel like he's the 10 in my team. I feel like him, what he was doing last year, started this season. I think he's the player in that position. But you know who's not the player in that position, bro?
Oh, Philip.
This has to be one of the most criminal takes. I don't know if you saw this, bro. I'll play it very quick.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Just
for the people that haven't seen it. Yeah. This clip is crazy.
Yeah. No sounds coming out, by the way, bro.
Oh, sorry. It's coming out my. Oh, it's coming out my side. Oh, you can't hear anything.
No.
Maybe I have to.
I've heard the clip though.
Okay, cool. For the people that haven't, he's basically Gary Neville's basically saying that Foden is one of those players that even if he's not in form, you would still play him when I guess the major competitions come around. And I think that's a crazy take because he's a good player, but he's definitely not. He's been out of form for the whole season, but it's Philip Foden. He needs to start, especially when he hasn't shown that remotely for England. I don't even know where that's even coming from.
I was about to say, like, even like, because there's some players where it's like, oh, you know what, for your club, maybe you're not in the greatest of form, but you've always delivered for England. And that's a debate in itself as regards to whether they should start. But that's not the case with Foden. Like, Foden's England career has been very underwhelming. Like, very, very underwhelming. Where I'm at with Foden is that he's clearly an extremely talented player. We saw what he done for Man City last year. But as regards to England, he has to earn his spot. That's where I'm at. Like, all of this just trying to fit him in anywhere or just trying to force him into the team. It's like, nah, like, hold bench and earn your spot. Like, do you get me? Just earn your spot. If you come on and you're consistently doing a madness or you're consistently putting in top performances, then now we can start looking at, okay, you know what, Foden is forcing his way into the team. But I think, like with me, like he's not someone, what Gary was saying about, there's certain players that, you know, like even when they're not performing, etc. That Foden's not that for me. Like, he's not.
Yeah, I don't know what's again. Even on that, very very quickly, so we don't spend too much time on him. Like in this team, for England, where is his best position, bro? Like where are we at with him now in terms of where we actually think his best position for England is now?
I think
Like
centrally.
you
I
think
think
centrally?
centrally, yeah. So I think he would like you would he would play like in that number 10.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah. You know what? I have a hot take with him with Foden. You know, I'm starting to really think, not even just off the back, because again, like you said, last year he was amazing, had a great season. But
Mhm.
I'm also starting to look at him now and feel like he gives me shades of not anything to do with like football wise, like Delhi. And why I say that is again, it's those players where it's like you're a 10, but not really a 10, but you're not a striker. That's just like I kind of see him as like off the striker type players. And I feel like the issue with those players is that there's not really a position for them as much. I feel like we see their system, it makes it work. But I feel like when I think of what he actually is, I kind of see him as like off the striker behind, but not also like a 10 that creates or makes chances like that. I don't know. That's kind of it might be a hot take on him, but that's my
Yeah,
overall
no,
kind of
I don't see
read
Foden.
on Foden.
I
But
think
yeah,
Foden is like I think he's like a 10 advanced 8. Like I think yeah, like Dele Ali was playing like a off the striker, second striker type of role. I don't think because Dele Ali, again, he was someone as well who was very good at crashing the box and he was very good at like, yeah, going beyond the striker, like making those runs beyond the striker and linking up well. I think Foden, like, you know, like Foden, he's got a crazy amount of technical ability. Like I think he is the type of player that can unlock defenses. Like, do you get me? When he's at his best. Like I think he is someone who, when he's at his best, he's able to, like, you know, when you're facing a low block and you're like, oh, bro, what are we gonna do here? Like I think Foden is someone who can be very effective there. But I think it's just the thing of like he's just not been showing it. He's not been doing the job, and yeah, like he's not performed very well for Man City this season. For England, he's been extremely underwhelming. So yeah, man, like you're not what Gary was saying again, where it's just like, yeah, like you should just be someone who's an automatic starter regardless. It's like, no, like you go on the bench. I think for City as well, like obviously he's moved he moves all across that front three. Like he's played on the right, he's played in the 10, played on the left, etc. But yeah, like I think just for England right now, he's just got to prove his worth.
nah, he does. So yeah, all I had to say that yeah, for us, he's definitely coming off the bench and being an impact player until proven otherwise. But yes, what were you saying for the third position in that midfield, bro? Who are you thinking?
I think you do need someone who is like, yeah, man. I think you need the silk. Like, yeah, you like again, Palmer's not in great form right now, but yeah, you would want someone like Palmer. Yeah, like you need that type of profile.
No,
I
I
think.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I think
Again,
he's
Foden at his best. Do you get me? Like, yeah, but again, man,
yeah,
he's
we haven't
not.
seen it enough.
Yeah, man. Palmer was getting like minutes at the Euros, and he was doing his thing. So those players should be rewarded, in my opinion.
No,
So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. And then yeah, and again, Rogers too. Like I said, player that
Rodgers.
he's another one that can be really, really fighting for a place in this team. I think he's
Yeah,
definitely good enough. So
yeah. You know what I think of Rodgers, man.
nah, he's
Baller.
amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing. But
baller.
then the left wing position. What are you thinking here? Because again, the players that come to mind, I'm thinking Eze, I'm thinking Gordon, I'm thinking Rashford, I'm thinking who was there was one more person, Hudson Odoi. Yeah, I think those are the four. Who is your starting left winger for England?
Hmm. Hmm. Based on this season, this season. Hmm. Based on this season in total, I think yeah, I would give it to Gordon, but this is definitely a position that's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Like it's not on the disrespect to Gordon, not like I've got to give it to Gordon. I mean, this is a position where it's like I think, yeah, like when I look at the right, for example, I'm like, Saka's gonna have to put like consecutive months of stinkers. Like, do you get me? Like where I'm like, do you get me? Okay, you know what? Like someone else is gonna start because I think one, when you look at that right position, there's less competition there. Like I think it would be who else would you play on the right?
Nwaneri.
Foden, Wanyeri, or Palmer could play there.
Yeah,
like,
Palmer could play.
Yeah,
Palmer could actually play there as well.
Yeah, Palmer could play there.
Yeah.
But I think Saka is like he's done his thing. Like, do you get me? Like, whereas like, yeah, I think Saka's he's like when you're looking at first choice for that right wing.
Oh, left wing too. Oh, not even right wing actually. Bowen.
Oh, Bowen as well. Yeah, Bowen's done his thing as well. But yeah. He's someone as well that's quite versatile when it comes to like across that front line because sometimes he'll play up front, etc. But yeah, Gordon's like again, he's a good player. I like Gordon a lot.
And I think Eze has a real shout as well, man. Because I think on that left as well, I think he can kind of bring that directness as well, that dribbling. If you're not gonna play maybe a Rodgers, then I think maybe you might want to then start looking at maybe you play Eze. So again, it's about that whole balance of the team, right? And like just trying to cover all the attributes that maybe certain players have and others don't. So. But yeah, I feel like this is a good English like starting 11, and then kind of like the final thing to kind of close out this section is like I guess how good do you actually think this team is? Like we've now tried to think of like I guess our best 11. Like are we saying like compared to the Frances, the Argentinas, the Germanys, like is this squad up there as well? Like because I think there's always that thing with England that sometimes it's like do they get more hype than maybe or pressure than maybe they really should or need to get, like based on who they actually have available? Like do you feel like it's justified based on the names that you see? Like what's your kind of final thoughts on that? Then we'll round up this section.
You know what it is? I think England therefore have like a talented squad. Like I think you can look at a lot of those players and you can therefore see talent, but also a lot of other nations do as well. Like I think that's the thing. So like it's even often like when people speak about like the golden generation, like of like Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, Rooney, etc. Again, I think that team was definitely capable of winning something, but also they are facing other teams who are also golden generations. Like, do you get me? They were going up against R9 Ronaldinho. Like, do you get me? Like, bro, like you're facing teams who are also looking at it and saying, bro, France are there. It's like we've got Zidane and Henry. Like, are we a joke to you guys? Like, do you get me? Like, so I think that's the thing. So when I currently look at this team, I'm like, yeah, but and funnily enough, I was going to say this international break was funny because normally I'm like, international break, whatever. And I was like that a little bit. But those Nation League games, I think it was on Sunday, I was watching them, bro. Oh,
Major,
my God.
you know what is it? You read my mind.
It was brilliant viewing, bro. Honestly.
You read my mind. I think the last question I have for you, I kind of want to end this on. I feel like you touched on it beautifully there. Is how much do you feel like England not being in those Nation League games right now is going to hurt them when it comes to the World Cup? And what's your take on that?
It's funny because obviously we've spoken about the Nations League as well, and I think one thing that was evident in these matches is that, bro, it meant like these weren't played like friendlies. These lot were going at it. Like, do you get me? Like they were going at it, like fully going at it. And like you do want to test yourself, like against like that type of opposition. Like, do you get me? So yeah, man. Like even obviously as well in this international break, Argentina faced Brazil. Like, do you get me? It's like, yeah, Brazil. Hey, another conversation. But yeah, like so I therefore think that is the type of preparation that you do want. Like you do want to face those type of teams. But also, do you get me? It's England's fault that they're not there. Like, do you get me? So yeah, but yeah, generally speaking, like when you're looking, obviously France have like you've seen what they've done in the last World Cup. Obviously, they won the World Cup in 2018. They've got a lot of young, exciting talent. Like, do you get me there? Spain, who beat England in the Euros. This Yamal, bruv, like, hey man, yeah, he's he's not playing with anybody. Like, do you get me? Like, so yeah, man. I think that's the thing. England definitely have a very talented squad, like 100%. And because of what had happened with Southgate and getting to the finals, like I said, the expectation for Tuchel is to win it, like is to win the World Cup. But also, again, even when we're speaking about the World Cup, Argentina, like, do you get me?
They're
Not a joke. Yeah, they look, fam, they're not a joke, bro. They've won 3 consecutive tournaments, Copa, World Cup, and then Copa again, bro. Like, do you get me? They look, and they slapped Brazil, and that was without Messi. Like, do you get me? So, bro, these men are not trying to play no games either. So yeah, I think that's the thing. I think it's one of them ones where, because of what has happened previously, the expectation for England is to win it, but also England aren't, like, you can't look at it and think, oh, England are dramatically better than the other international sides, like some of the ones that we've already mentioned. Like, nah. So I think it's one of them ones. And I think in international football as well, you need players who are, you can't be scared, man. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, you need players who are willing to step up to the plate, because a lot of international football is about moments. Like, you get me? Yeah, like it is about moments. And like, obviously you can't, I think Tuchel even referenced it. I think he said on the Southgate, I think he essentially said that, yeah, like England were playing with more of like a fear to lose rather than the excitement to win. Like, and I think, yeah, you've got to go at it.
And you know what's even funny, yeah? Like, again, with these, there's a certain section, I guess, of the English fan base, is that what I think they don't even realize is that you actually do need the players like the Lewis Kellys. And so maybe, yeah, he's still young, but I think at the top level, in terms of the decision making, like, you need that personality in those better players. That is also what holds England back, bro. But they don't want to hear that, though.
No, on that as well, bro. That's what I was also going to say. It's funny because you reminded me. I was also going to say that for Bellingham. Like, the one good thing about Bellingham, he is that type of personality where it's like, he don't shy away. Like, do you get me? And like you said with like a Miles Lewis Skelly, like, do you get me? Like, you do need those personalities where it's just like, bro, like, man ain't scared. Like, do you get me? Like, I'm ready, because fam, these man are ready. Like, do you get me? Like, they're ready. Like, even when you look at that 2018 2016 France lost to Portugal in the final, and then if you look at the 2018 World Cup, that team obviously with Pogba, you had the young Mbappe, Griezmann, etc. I remember seeing the video of them in the changing room prior to the World Cup final, and like, I think Pogba's leading the talk, and it was like, yeah, man, like, bro, 2016 we lost, we should have won that. It's like, today we're coming for what's ours. Like, do you get me? It's like, we're coming for what, that's the type of personality you need in like these big tournaments. Like, do you get me? So I think, yeah, that's even I think that's a good point that you made there. Like, yeah, like, you need to be confident, you need to be excited, like, you need to be ready for it, because yeah, international football is brutal, man.
No, it is,
bro.
It is brutal. It is. It is. But yeah, no. So again, I feel like with England, my kind of very, very quick words, and we'll move on to the next nation. I've just been disappointing. But I feel like the one good thing about these competitions is I feel like with me, England, their big issue has been breaking down these nations. And understand, like, I know what Spain and France and Argentina would do to the smaller nations around them whenever they played them, but it's England that will now be scraping a 2-1 and making it look horrible as they beat these teams they should be beat anyway. So I feel like what I at least want to see bare minimum is them comfortably. I mean, they're in like a lose-lose situation where like you beat Latvia 3-0, it's only Latvia, but you need to continue beating the Latvias 3-4-0. That's what you need to do all the way from now to the competition. And then we then see what the defense has in store when they play the bigger teams. But at least give me some confidence that you can your attacking phases of play can consistently break down these teams as well, is what I want to at least see. But yeah, that's kind of my final 2 pence on
I think, again, my final thing with that is that I think I definitely hear what you're saying. And yeah, you definitely want to see, again, more continuity and more imagination when it comes to breaking down these smaller teams. But funnily enough, I think with England, it's kind of like different to Man United, where, you know, under Ten Hag, like we had the conversation. I was just like, oh, Man United, bruv, you beat Liverpool, whatever the case may be, you beat the top teams. It's like, bro, I'm not learning much because I know when this team comes, do you get me, to town, I need to see you consistently beating the teams that you don't have rivalries with the teams who aren't gonna kind of like the teams who are gonna look to come at you more. Like, do you get me? Like, it's one thing beating those teams, and it's different. Like, oh yeah, the teams who may be like you're quote unquote expected to beat more so. Like, how are you gonna approach that? But I think with England, again, and it's an interesting point you made about the Nations League. I need to see how because it just seems that in tournaments, it's like you come up against this team, you come against that team, and then as soon as you get to one of the big boys, like as soon as England,
it doesn't even have to be a big boy,
the
bro.
favorite.
Let Croatia come to town.
Like as soon as England aren't the favorite, like, do you get me? Then it's like, oh, like, and I think again that scaredness, like, do you get me? I think that's something that we've seen a lot. Like I remember, bro, Euros final, the 2020, but obviously it was in 2021 against Italy. We watched it together. Like, do you get me? England go up 1-0 up within the first few minutes with Luke Shaw, and then after that, it was just like,
bro,
we're scared, man. We just gotta make sure that we hold into this. And you just see Italy growing into the game and growing into the until the point where it's just like, you know, it's coming. Like, and I feel like that's where England, like when it comes to the big boys, like, do you get me? It's just So yeah, we'll see. It's funny as well because England, like, it's all of this. It's so funny because all of these games, these international break games, Tuchel, etc. All Tuchel's legacy, England legacy, as regards to him being the England manager, it's all gonna be. We're waiting to the World Cup. We're waiting for the big tournament. So it's just like, up until then, it's just all, hey man. Well, we're trying to work out maybe what team you're gonna go with, or like who you're gonna include in the squad. But I don't know if there's that much that we're gonna actually learn in these qualifiers. So that's what I'm saying.
No, I hear that. And then the other team, the other nation, bro, the other nation that has just been disappointing us across the continent, bro, Nigeria, bro. This next World Cup is gonna be abroad. It's gonna be in the USA, Mexico. Bro, all of them ends there, bro. You know how excited I thought these men would have been up for it. I would have thought them knowing that they're gonna be on the world stage, but in America they would. But bro.
I thought we'll hear the trumpets,
bro.
You got me? Everybody blow your trumpet, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it's not looking like it, bro.
It's not looking like that at all, man.
Oh damn, man.
It's not looking like that at all. Like they've just been terrible, man. Like I haven't actually caught a lot of the matches, but like I heard, like I'm ahead of the Zimbabwe match. Must win. It's already going to be tight. I just see Zimbabwe. Look where they are. I'm saying respectfully, Nigeria with Osimhen, with Lookman. Like I don't think it's even.
To be
Go on,
fair, and
sir.
Osimhen as well, because in the match before he scored both goals, and in that
Yeah, yeah.
Zimbabwe match he scored as
Good
well.
to
So
go.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
to be fair to
Yeah,
him,
I think
like
I've seen the reactions and no one's really blaming him. I feel like the
yeah,
two main
to be
things I'm
fair to
seeing is
him.
the coach apparently he's making some. His name is Eric as well. He's making some Eric type decisions is what I'm hearing as one of the key things. I think just in general too, like where he's playing in the it will be as balling out in the Premier League. You're playing him, I think, deep like as one of the sixes or something. So I'm playing him as a 10. I think he's not playing Lookman on the left. He played. I just heard that he's not playing these men in the right positions, and they can barely score a goal. Like 1-0 up against Zimbabwe, and the goal that they conceded, it was so smelly. So, bro, I think even right now, if we win all of the rest of our games, the best we can hope for is qualifiers to be one of the top four qualifying
And
teams, and then go into it.
Bro, because I think how it works. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's like it's the you now look at the best second place.
Yeah.
Or have you seen what the points totals of the other second place teams in the groups, bro?
I've seen it,
bro. You seen that? 15 points, bro. 12 points. 12 points, bro.
We're not qualified, are we? We're not qualified, are we?
Bro, even me. I remember I was looking at. I was just like, you know what? There might be a little bit of hope. I was just like, let me just look at what the other second place teams are saying. I said,
nasty. Yeah, there is no hope. There is no hope.
Oh no!
Oh, look what our enemies are did. Look at what our enemies. The ups.
GH, man. Hey, damn.
Yeah, man. Looks like they're going to America.
Hey,
so yeah, man. I just wanted to touch on this very quickly and just say how disappointed I am in this Nigeria, man. Because it's looking very, very stinky right now. Very, very stinky. But oh damn. And then I feel like the next part of the stream that I want to talk about that we can get into, let's get a bit closer to home again, talk about just very, very quickly, what kind of happened prior to the international break, and then we kind of just touch on what the upcoming fixtures this week and next week, kind of get into that stuff. But the first thing I wanted to talk about obviously was don't know whether you want to say anything. We haven't actually reacted to the Newcastle Liverpool win, and so them winning their first trophy. I know that would have made you very happy. So I just wanted to give you the floor to kind of express yourself.
Hey man, shout out to the Geordies. Thoroughly deserved. Yeah, man, they were just clearly the better team. Shout out Dan Burn. Obviously, he's got a great story in it. Local lad, coming back to Newcastle, scoring a goal in the final. And being able to celebrate a trophy after all these years. Isak, yeah, man, that's what the top players do. When it's the big moments, do you get me? Yeah, man. When it's the big moments, when it's time for you, again, because that's the thing, when you're a striker, especially in cup finals, a lot of the time it's you know what? You might not be fully involved in a game, but it's one of them ones where kind of similar to a goalkeeper, where it's when you're called upon, you need to make sure that you're ready. And I think, obviously, because he had the offside goal before that, and then that was such a good finish, man.
It was
a good finish. And then man, he's just a bad boy. Literally, he's just a bad boy. And man, credit to you as well, man, because you got the prediction literally spot on,
bro. The way the other predictions went, I needed this. This was a bonus points for me.
Spot on, even from that, I know Isak's got something for me, everything. Literally, it's funny because I was cutting up the clip. And I was literally, bro, this guy got it spot on, bro.
Hey, man. I willed it into existence. I willed it. So now, fair play to Newcastle. And you said, I think it was a thoroughly deserved win. They actually dominated most of that match. I think it was after when 2-0 that Liverpool then started to, apply some pressure. And it looked a little bit scary after that. But I think Newcastle, fair play to them, man. Just busted match. Physically, Liverpool couldn't handle them. Even Slaughter, he had to start making some crazy subs to try and get them back to the game, but just nothing was really working. So, fair play to Newcastle. Big win. It looks like it's just Spurs now that's left. Just wanted to add that in there. Hopefully, their drought continues. But, on that, the other quick thing I wanted to kind of touch on is, I'm trying to think what we should talk about it now. This whole Trent situation. Maybe we should just touch on it now. Because why I wanted to touch on it is I wanted to link it back to Salah and say, what do you think about like the season Salah's had so far, and just like them being out of chance now, them being out of this, and it's just like his Ballon d'Or shouts that were just looking so promising. This look like it's absolutely plummeted. And then you look at Real Madrid and you say, this is why this club is the pinnacle of football. Because one thing you can say with Real Madrid is that they're going to give you an opportunity to be in that shout as long as possible in most seasons. You look at Trent saying that he wants to win the Ballon d'Or one day. And I wonder if he's looking at his mate Salah. So you could, as great as the season you've had, he's probably not going to win as a right back anyway. But either way, it's like going to Real Madrid is just the difference maker in terms of if you want to be in those conversations, you're just seen and looked at completely differently than when you're in any other club in the world. Was kind of how I wanted to introduce it. And then I wanted to kind of let you have a free roll and like your take on that, the outrage and the backlash and what's going on with Trent and he's moved to Real Madrid.
So I think there's like multiple dimensions to this conversation. I think firstly, from Trent's perspective as regards to a career move, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think you've won everything that there is to win in England. Like you're about to win your second league title. So yeah, you've won the Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, etc., and now you're gonna go to the biggest club in the world, and like you're gonna have that challenge. And obviously, Bellingham's there, but just generally speaking as well, I think we're seeing more and more English players going abroad. Like, I think that's generally something that we're seeing happen much more. So I think as regards to him, I think it makes sense. Like, I understand why he wants to go there. As regards to Liverpool fans being upset about it, like, I get why they're upset. Like, do you get me? Like, it's not nice seeing like a player that like you love a lot, like homegrown, etc., leave. However, I do think some of the reactions that I've been seeing, I'm just like, like I think it's over the top. Like, I think it's over the top. And I think, again, like, I understand. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be hurt. Like, do you get me? Like, bro, like, when a player leaves your club that you don't want to leave, it hurts. Like, do you get me? Like, it hurts. Like, do you get me? Even when they're not homegrown. I remember when Ronaldo went to Real Madrid, it hurt. And that's even another thing. Real Madrid, they do this. Like, do you get me?
Bro.
Like, you don't know. This is what they do, bro. Like, do you get me? Like, they do this. Again, English football thing is a food chain. Like, do you get me? It's a food chain. Like, do you get me? The same way Manchester United, bro. It's the same way I remember. Like, do you get me? What? Carrick, hey, come from Spurs. What? Berbatov, hey, you best come around here. Like, do you get me? The same way we're able to go to certain clubs and say, hey, we're Manchester United. And they're like, yeah, guys, sorry, man, we're leaving. We got to go and see what's happening with Manchester United. I think the smaller clubs, they're used to that being a reality for them. But obviously, clubs like Manchester United, clubs like Liverpool, like, you're probably much so less used to it that when it does happen to you, like, it just, like, it's like, you're discombobulated. Like, you get me? You're like, what's going on? Because you're thinking Liverpool don't understand how they can be out here, like, they've just won a league. In their minds, they're looking at it and thinking, we're in such a great position. Like, why would you want to leave us now? And it's just like, bro, this is Real Madrid, man. Like, this is what they do. When Ronaldo left us, bro, we had won 3 league titles in a row. We'd won a Champions League the year before, and we got to the Champions League final that year, and we lost to Barca. Bro, it weren't even a conversation as regards to who was the better team, Manchester United or Real Madrid, bro. These men hadn't won a champs since 2002. Like, do you get me? When Ronaldo left to Real Madrid, bro, they couldn't chat to us on the field, but they're Real Madrid. But they're Real Madrid. It gets like that sometimes, man. I'm not saying they don't hurt. Like, do you get me? I understand it, bro. Especially when it is like a homegrown pet. Bro, I said it. My first football heartbreak. Do you know where it was? My
What was
very
your
first
first?
football
What
heartbreak
was your first heartbreak?
is when Beckham left, bro. Beckham left
Mm,
to Real Madrid, and that was a very different circumstance because Beckham didn't want to leave. But yeah, that was my first football heartbreak. Where I was just like, bro, I loved Beckham. I was like, he's
mm.
going, bro. Like, my dad had to comfort me and all sorts, bro. Literally, like my dad. And it's crazy. Very quick story, but I remember, like, my dad. He was telling me, he was like, no, like, apparently we signed this really good Portuguese teenager. Like, this is all right, Tosh. Like, do you get me? And then we know how that went with Ronaldo. But yeah, like, I get it. So I don't want to like gaslight Liverpool fans and say, oh, you have no right to be upset or whatever the case may be, because I think that's disingenuous. But I do think some of the criticism is over the top. And I also think that not enough blame has gone towards the board, the
Yup.
club, the owners. I think,
Yup.
firstly, just to have a situation where you've got 3 of your key players having their contracts run out in the same season, I think that's just bad management. Like, I don't think there's any angle you can really spin it where it's just like, there shouldn't be a situation where Salah's contract, Van Dijk's contract, and Trent's contract are all running out in the same season. Like, that's bad management. That shouldn't happen. So I think, firstly, that was just a very bad mistake. And then, yeah, I don't know what the ins and outs are as regards to Trent's like the negotiations, like how everything went down. But it is weird now because I think this, and don't get me wrong, Liverpool, they're about to win the league. When they do win the league, I know they're gonna parade and be extremely excited and celebrate, and they should. Do you get me? Like, they've won the Premier League trophy. But I think it's interesting just with like all of this contract saga, like how are things gonna play out, like when Trent plays, like what reception is he gonna get? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's just like you guys, because obviously you weren't able to celebrate the last title because it was during COVID, and I just think there's just a lot of negativity around the football club currently, where it should be a time where like you guys are ecstatic because you're about to win a league title. And I know obviously they've gone out of the Champions League and they got knocked out. I mean, they lost to Newcastle in the League Cup final. But yeah, I just think it's just very weird, like looking at it, like, do you get me, on the outside, where it's just like, yeah, this should be a joyous time for you. But obviously because of all of this stuff that's happening, then there's just a lot of negativity that looks like that's coming out. So yeah, man, I think Trent, I understand it from a career perspective. Like, I think it's a good move. Like, from a career perspective, like, I don't really see how you can say. I think obviously because, bro, also as well, like, you see this whole, it's very rare that players are like, it's just the reality. Like, a lot of players, they're not one club players anymore. Like, it's something that rarely happens. Like,
Bro, the sport's gone global, man. Like, it's a
like,
global sport.
It's very
so,
rare.
Yeah.
Like, do you get me? Like, even obviously Gerrard, he ended up going to LA Galaxy, but obviously he spent like, yeah, pretty much his whole career there. But bro, like,
hey, listen, I know the ins and outs too, but I know the Chelsea. I heard that.
No, I was just about to say that. It's like, I know the story that Liverpool fans want to think is that he never wanted to leave, but that's not true. Like, do you get me? We all know it's not true. Like, do you get me? So let's just all be honest. Let's just all be honest. Do you get me? I won't go into the details, but we all know what happened. Like, do you get me? We all know what happened. So, like, I think, yeah, I'm not saying that it shouldn't hurt. Like, of course it can hurt. And obviously your ideal thing would be, yeah, the Liverpool lad spends his whole career at Liverpool and, you know, he goes on to captain the club. And yeah, do you get me? Like, I get it. Like, I'm a football romantic. Like, I get it. But also at the same time, it's just one of them ones where it's like, yeah, man, I think some of the reaction that I've been seeing is just, it's very over the top. Like, it's very over the top. And I think not enough, again, like I said, not enough blame has gone towards the board and the club for leaving you guys in this position. That's my thoughts on it.
No, 100%, bro. I feel like you've touched on pretty much everything. I feel like, I don't know why sometimes you like, I guess it's always what happens. It's a person on the ground or the person closest to you that gets all the heat, but then the actual organization behind that's making all the bad decisions, they just get left. Because there's a lot of, if he loved us, he wouldn't let himself go for free and not give us some money to go to transfers, bro. Why would he take money from his own pocket to give to the owners that there's no guarantee that money's even getting reinvested back into transfers anyway? Why would you even allow that to even be a possibility? Like, it's like, I feel like sometimes people, like, they glamorize football at this level where they stop thinking of, like, if it was actually me in this actual position, what would I actually do? Like, I don't, maybe it's just me, but I feel like as much as you can love a player, you can, like, be devastated when they leave. Like you say, my heartbreak was January. I feel like after that, I said I can't trust anybody. Anybody can leave. That's how I love Saka. I'm not going to be delusional to say that if Arsenal don't win anything in the next 2 years, Saka's not going to start looking and saying, "Ooh." But if another team comes
and
in,
if he did go, it will hurt. Like, do you get
me? It will hurt a lot, bro.
It's the same way when I'm hearing these, and obviously Kobe's at like the start of his career, and even when I'm hearing the thought of Kobe leaving, it's making me sad. Like, do you get me? Already, like, do you get me? I'm saying, what's these reports that I'm hearing? What do you mean? Like, do you get it? So I understand it. Like, do you get it? But yeah, I think ultimately, like, yeah, these are jobs. Like, they're jobs for these players.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
You get me? And
they are.
Players are gonna make the best moves for their careers.
And again, like you said, it's on the owners and on the club to say, you don't sign this year, well, you're gonna get sold. We cannot allow you to go into your final year of your contract. We have to start negotiating with whoever we need to negotiate to get the best price. They didn't do that. They did. I don't know, maybe blind trust as well on their side, or I don't know what they were thinking, but I think overall you have to blame the club more than you blame the player. And also too, I feel like kind of final point to add on to what everything that you said is that people too are like, people also only focus on like what they gave the player, but not what the player gave them. That's like what the part Trent has done in giving Liverpool their first title in over 30 years. Another title now, the Champions League. It's like, if the guy as an academy player comes through and gives you all of that, and he then wants to now go and live in Spain for the next few years of his career, that's like, I feel like, how can you really stand there and actually be brutally inside boot? Like, how can I can get the being hurt, but I can't get how that can be like visceral, like hate. That's like how that can go from like you loving this player to now like you hate this player because he decided to move on in his career. Like, I think that transition is always crazy to me.
You know what's so brutal about football as well? Yeah, it's funny because if Trent now, if he had fell off and was putting stinker upon stinker, yeah, and another club like popped up and said, yeah, we wanna buy this player. It's like, yeah, man, a lot of fans would be saying, yeah, man, it was time to go. Like, do you get me? It was time to go. Even if he desperately wanted to stay, they'll be like, hey, man, bro, thank you for your service, but you gotta go. Like, do you get it? And I think that's the thing where it's like, it's, again, I think Liverpool fans have every right to be upset because a player that you love, an academy player, is leaving. Like, do you get me? That's a natural reaction, but also at the same time, I think, yeah, Trent's gonna do what's best for his career. And just generally speaking, if I look at it, I'm thinking, yeah, that's a good career move. Like, do you get me? Like, it is a good career move. There's not many places that you can go from Liverpool, and like, I'm thinking, you know what, that's an upwards move, and this is one of them. Like, do you get me?
When Alonso goes to that team, Mbappe, Bellingham, like, it's so exciting, man. I feel like you can't from the outside look at it and just not be like, from a neutral point of view, that is exciting. How he does there, boy, we'll see. Because it's also going to be tough. He's also going against Carvajal as well. Like, it's like, they have a good team. Like, they already have some weaknesses that he's going to also have to fix his game. They're going to have to find ways for it to work. So it's not like a guarantee he goes there and it's an absolute smash and he's going to be great there. He also has to raise his game as well. So again, that just must be exciting. Like, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. So I'm definitely locked in to see how he does.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what type of reaction that he gets. Like, yeah, for the rest of the season and stuff. But yeah, man, like, hey, football, it can be brutal.
Hey, man, it can really break your heart. It can really break your heart. But yes, that's on Liverpool, and so we'll see. But kind of quickly going through the prediction results. Yes, I said 2-1 Newcastle in that Carabao Cup final, got that correct, got 5 points, which I desperately needed. And then, Arsenal Chelsea, I said 2-1, you said 1-0. So you got the 3 points, I got the 1. Then this is the game, Man United Leicester, bro. I said Leicester have made an enemy of me because it was 2-0. I said, all I need you to do is hold on to this 2-0 defeat. And these are allowed Bruno to go and get another. I was so upset. And then, that swung it from 1 point for me to 3 points for you because obviously United won 3-0. I was so angry that day. So, Leicester have made an enemy of me. I just want to repeat that again. They made an enemy of me. And then, Fulham Spurs, we both went 2-2. Fulham beat them 2-0. Like I said, I think Spurs, I'm almost getting tired of predicting Spurs at this point. Genuinely. I'm getting tired of predicting them at this point. So, And then, Bournemouth Brentford. I said 2-2. You said 2-1 Bournemouth, but Brentford got the win 2-1. So, all in all, that makes the prediction table look like this. Let me just get it open. It looks like this right now. So, right now, I'm on 52, you are on 57. So, you still pulled away. But that Carabao Cup 2-1 Newcastle saved me. Otherwise, it would have been double digits. It would have been double digits. So,
you got correct score. And, because you said it would be like a bonus little.
It was 5 points. So, it was 3 and then 5.
Because that was nice,
bro. So I wasn't happy about that.
When I saw the 1-0 Arsenal, I was just like, "Hey, man!" I was like, "This is good." Even just it's so funny because very early on in the game, I was watching it. I said, "This is a 1-0." I said, "I've got," I was like, "I've got these points in the back." I said, "This is a 1-0 if I've ever saw one."
I was so sad. I just need another goal. Just one more goal.
I said, "This is a 1-0."
I was so upset, man. I was actually so upset. I was so upset.
Funny.
So you're still ahead there. So I'm gonna have to catch up. But fair play. You got two exact score lines, the Leicester and Arsenal game. So fair play. You had a good week. And then the next segment of the
as well, because I even forgot that I predicted that for the Leicester United game as well.
Oh yeah, you did. Because I mean, you just about you went 3-0, and then you just about
It's actually crazy because even that, I was like, I remember doing the 1-0 Arsenal, but I didn't even remember doing 3-0 United. So hey, man, that's good.
You did, unfortunately. Leicester, don't let me say it again. You made an enemy of me. Watch, I'm gonna be there every game for no reason, even though they're not part of our pick. I'm gonna say this is Leicester's result. this is what happened in the Leicester game, bro. They made an enemy of me, but we moved. But the next thing I thought would be good for us to touch on. Kind of touching this as much or as little as you want to, bro. But just very, very quickly, I don't know if you had any kind of thoughts going into the FA Cup weekend. Obviously, the fixtures this weekend, we have Brighton versus Forest, we have Bournemouth versus City, we have Fulham versus Palace, and we have Preston versus Villa. So, again, I don't know if you had any of those fixtures you want to kind of touch on, I guess. Like, I feel like probably, Brighton, Forest. Brighton, they probably have some, like we said, they locked in since Forest did their last time.
Out for it as well.
Woods out, okay. I didn't even know that. So that should be that should be interesting. Bournemouth versus City, that should be another tough game for City as well. And tough game for both of them. City's gonna come through. And then Fulham and Palace, they're just two even teams. Is Mateta back? I think Mateta might
I think he's back. Yeah, he's back. Yeah. I think they're all literally it's just the Villa Preston where you would expect Villa to go through, but the other three, they're tough. They're tough to call, man. Like literally, I think that City Bournemouth difficult, like because it's at Bournemouth as well. That's difficult. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Bournemouth win that at all. Then like you said, Brighton Forest, they took that. Brighton took that 7-0 so personally. Since then, bro, they've been on a run. Yeah. And then Fulham Palace again, London derby. Very, very close as regards to what I think will happen. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think the final thing I'll just say on the FA Cup fixtures is just that firstly, I hope City just get out because I'm a Man United supporter. But secondly, I think how we saw, for example, Newcastle win the League Cup after so many years. I think, yeah, there's so many teams here who they've either never won the FA Cup before, or it's been ages since they've won the FA Cup and even just a trophy period. So I think it presents a very good opportunity for a lot of teams. So yeah, I just want City, Bournemouth, please do the job, get them out. And then after that, it's like whoever wins it, I have no problem. Like, so yeah.
No, I hear it. It should be yeah, like you said, I think a lot of the games are actually gonna be very interesting to watch. So definitely gonna be locked in to that. And then final segment or I guess not the final segment, the segment before the final segment of the show is penultimate. That's what I was looking for. Let's quickly touch on, obviously, I know it's a bit early, but I thought we can touch on the fixtures coming up next week. I think we have some midweek fixtures from Tuesday, I believe. But I think the big game of the week is definitely the London derby. You know, Chelsea versus Spurs. I feel like this is definitely a very hard game to call right now because Chelsea, from what I saw against like in the Arsenal game, I said, boy, I'm hearing that Palmer hasn't trained. He still might play, might not play.
Now. He's trained now. He trained today, I think.
He's trained now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
think
that's
actually, I think Palmer, Madueke, and Jackson, they're all back in training.
Yay, Jackson as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that changes my predictions.
I think they're all back in training. I don't know how much. I don't know how much they'll play, but I think I saw that they're all back in training. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a little exclusive for me. little exclusive.
That's not good news. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are on these two teams, bro. Because like I said, Spurs, I don't know what to predict to Spurs anymore. I don't know what to expect. They can come and be great in this game. They can come and Chelsea too. They understand. I think they were winning up to the Arsenal game, but if you look at all the teams they played before Arsenal, again, those are teams that they should be beating. So I don't know what to really kind of where to go with this one. What are you thinking?
That Arsenal game was I told, like I said, bro. I said this is a 1-0. I told you. I said Chelsea out there nothing. As soon as Arsenal scored, I said, yeah, man. I can see how this game's got being played out, man. 1-0. But I think Chelsea. Like, yeah, I think it's interesting in both camps. I think from what I've heard from Chelsea fans, like Maresca.
Sorry, bro, very, very quickly. I don't know if you saw that Chelsea today. They lost 3-0 in a behind closed door game against their under 21s team, apparently. Is what I'm hearing. Some quite credible, Chelsea people say. So just to add that onto Chelsea as well. Apparently Maresca was fuming, but continue.
I just think, man, like they just need to, again, they're still, as regards to the league, obviously they've got the conference league. As regards to the league, they're right there for top 4 positions, and then they've also got the Club World Cup, which, bro, I'm hearing the winners of that tournament get 100 million, bro. I said, yikes. That's gonna help with finances. I said United could need that. United could do with that. Could do with that, bro.
That's crazy.
Damn. So when I saw some graphic about like prize money, and I think, like FA Cup. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think if you win the FA Cup, it's like less than 4 mil, bro.
Oh,
like,
swear!
Bro. At the Club World Cup, 100 mil essentially, just under, I think. So but Chelsea, man, I think it's just.
This is the table as well, as you're saying.
Okay, I think with Chelsea, so you can see 4th, a point ahead of City. They're in as regards to the top 4 positions, they're still right there. But Palmer needs to get back in form. I think that's one. I think Jackson coming back should help, because I think them two, they've got a good relationship, on the pitch. And then Madueke as well, that should just add a bit more variety in their attack as regards to options. So I think they just need to kind of just sort things out, and we'll see if they can kind of get back on track. With Spurs, things just seem so negative over there, man. You get me? The vibes there seem horrible. Bro, fam, hey, man.
Bro, I think I was also today that I think Atletico Madrid are looking at Romero.
The vibes there just look horrible. I think, do you get me? Obviously, United, it's not been a great season for us at all, but I think things have obviously we got some big fixtures coming up. So, but things have like calmed down a bit. Like, do you get me? Whereas like over there, I think their main thing is that it's looking at a lot of Spurs fans. Like, they're I'm seeing more and more people just lose faith with Ange. Like, do you get me? And then you're just seeing him arguing with fans and like, do you get me? So yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not looking the greatest there. Again, Spurs, I'm not really, I don't even know about them, man. Like, do you get me? I think obviously the league is whatever. It's the same with us. Like, do you get me? The league, they're not fighting for anything. It's that Europa League when they've got Frankfurt, which that's not going to be easy at all. So I think that's the big one. But for this match, this is a London derby, and we know that these teams don't like each other. So this is an important game for them. Like so. Yeah, man. It'll be Spurs Chelsea games are normally good. At least
they are.
From a neutral perspective, it's like, well, Well, it's weird. I was about to say I'm a neutral. You're not a neutral, but at the same time, you don't like either team. So it's like, you might like.
I'll take a beating on either side.
Yeah,
but it's like either side, I'm happy.
Whereas, so, with me, I'm just like cool. So yeah, man, it should be an entertaining game. I would say.
No, I agree. I feel like, I don't really have too much more to say. I feel like Chelsea is really going to be dependent on, Palmer being fit. Because, this Neto up front, like Sancho, like just their team, even the Arsenal game, they just had no cutting edge at all. So, and with Spurs, one thing, when they do get it going is that they can play good football. Like, they can make chances and sound like they have players there to hurt Chelsea. But... It's Palmer going to be back, and is he going to be fit enough to actually make a difference in this game? But like you say, Spurs, they're really not playing for anything. They're really just playing for pride at this point. I think Romero, Van der Ven, they should be back properly now. I feel like they don't really have the like injuries. I don't know, they do have injuries. I think like the other backup players that they brought in to kind of help with the Van der Ven and Romero injuries are now out themselves. But in terms of their starting team, it feels like they have a lot more of their components back as well. Whereas with Chelsea, I don't know, like you say, even though they might be back in training, I don't know how fit Jackson will be to play any part in this type of game after being out for so long. So I'm thinking that Spurs probably physically might be the stronger team, but I think I look at the fact that it's Stamford Bridge and I say, Spurs, Stamford Bridge is not a great combination as well. I feel like this is where generational trauma also affects you as well. I feel like it'll be a bit more balanced if it was at Spurs Stadium, but the fact that it is at Chelsea's, I think I'm definitely leaning to a Chelsea win here. So I think that being said, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea win in this game. What are you thinking?
I'm going for a Chelsea win as well. Like, I'm now just trying to... I was going to say 2-1, and I'm thinking, do I want to switch it up? Like... Yeah, I'm going to match it. I'm going to go 2-1 as well.
2-1, 2-1. That is fair. I'm very interested in your prediction in this next game that we're going to be talking about. Like you say, Manchester United. You guys have, I guess, slowed the bleeding a little bit. The way you guys are bleeding out, I feel like you find a way to tie something around that arm to make it to a nearby hospital. So, but now this is gonna be another game that can rip that arm back off again. So, United versus Forest. So what are you thinking about this game, bro?
Yeah, I think what it was like, obviously we knew that the Europa League game was super important for us. So we needed to win that, because if we lose that, then that's our season essentially finished. So I think, winning that, I think, and then, like in and around that as well, like performances, obviously we drew with you guys, but I feel like, we had enough chances to win that. Leicester, I expected us to win that. We did. So like I think that Europa League where that's is one of them ones where it's like we've got to obviously put in good performances in the Prem, try to get as much points as possible, and then we know the Europa League. That's the like important. Those are the important games for us as regards to our the context of our season and how it looks. So. Yeah, man. When I look at it logically, I feel like I think going to Forest, man. Like it's hard. It's hard to see us winning. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I think again we've spoken about Forest a lot. They've got a very solid defense. I know Chris Wood is out for the FA Cup game, they said, but I'm not sure what his status will be for the Man United game. But yeah, like, and then even like, I saw what Elanga done in the last game as well. Like, do you get me? We spoke about Callum Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White. Like, yeah, man. Like, Forest have got a good team, and obviously they are fighting for Champions League football. So very, very difficult game, and I feel like I want to. I want to do an emotion pick.
Oh, that's very
Like,
nice.
yeah, I want to do an emotion pick. Like, logically, I feel like I would say 2-1 Forest, but I'm going to say 2-1 United. That's what I'm going to go with.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that. And Forest, please. I know you guys are gonna be in the cup this weekend, but don't let off. Like, make sure that you remember your primary goal is to make sure you get that Champions League football. That's your heritage. But yeah, I agree. I feel like you guys have definitely turned the corner performance wise. I would say, like, I feel like that's the game I expected you guys to win, but it was very, very comfortable. I feel like earlier on, or even the game you played Leicester, I think a few weeks ago, was a lot tighter than this one. This one was just you guys were just clearly the better side in this game.
Yeah.
So fair play. I think the Sociedad match too. Real match. Yeah, you guys were quite comfortable in that game as well.
Bro, I'm so sorry, bro. Bruno, I need to give him credit again, man. Yeah. Like, I know he gets his criticism. Like, obviously, but yeah, man, he's stepping up. Like, he's absolutely stepping up. And yeah, I think one thing you can't deny is that this guy has the capability of being a match winner. Like, has the capability of producing decisive moments. So, and I think that's what he's been doing. Like, even the finish against Leicester, we saw the free kick against Arsenal, we saw the free kick against Everton, we saw his performance against Real Sociedad and the goals there as well. So yeah, man, I've got to give him massive credit. And one thing about Bruno as well, I know a lot of people question him as regards to him being a captain and etc. and some of his tendencies, but this guy cares. Like, do you get me? Like, he definitely cares, and he doesn't hide. Like, and I like that. I definitely like that. So yeah, man, we just need him to obviously continue to do what he's doing, but then also just if he can just continue to just try and make sure that those other parts of his game, when it comes to, like, do you get me, the retaining possession, the sloppiness, like all of those things that sometimes we do have to criticize Bruno for. If you can just what's the meme? It's the Ross friends. Just
bring it down. I hear it.
So yeah, man. I just want to give credit to him, but yeah, sorry, bro.
No, fair play. Like, and it was a very good goal against Leicester as well, that third one. So he's been in good form recently. But yeah, I feel like this is a different caliber of team. I know it's also a different, I guess, threat to what United are used to. Again, we always speak about it. Like, this is, I'm gonna have to use your logic here, where this is where I look at United's weaknesses when it comes to teams that are gonna allow you to have the ball and are gonna say, come, and then they're gonna just other way, fast transition, hit you on a break, and there's gonna be spaces. And I feel like Forest are probably the worst team in the league in terms of that type of football, where against anyone they play, they're happy to do that anyway. They don't switch up the MO. Like, they know exactly what they're trying to do, and that's what they're gonna do against United. So I feel like the question then against a team like Forest is, are you clinical or good enough to break them down and get your goals? And are you also defensively solid enough to keep them out from what they do really well? And I feel like that's where I'm not sure with United yet still. I feel like I think you're going to struggle to score against them, and I feel like Forest are going to be a big enough threat on the break that I'm not sure whether you guys offensively can handle that, which is why I think I'm definitely going for Forest to win in this one. I think I'm going to go 2-1 Forest.
I feel like that's the logical pick. I told you
Yeah,
this. Mine
yeah.
was emotional.
No, that's what. So when you said that, I said,
Let me
yeah, I'm
just
gonna go
start.
for the logic.
I was about to say, I've got a tiny little gap at the top. I said, all right, cool. Let me throw a bit of emotion.
I hear it. If you win and you get it right, it's a win-win. I hear it.
I'll throw a bit of emotion. So yeah,
I do hear that. I hope I can start making those kind of decisions in the future. Right now, I'm all logic. I'm pure logic, bro. The next game that we're gonna get into is gonna be quite a tough one. It's Arsenal versus Fulham. Like we said, Fulham coming off the back of dealing comprehensively with our London rivals, Tottenham. Yeah. So it's going to be a tough game. And I feel like with Arsenal too, there's been some international breaks, some time away from the squad, but I still know what I'm dealing with. I know what I'm coming home to, and I know that I still don't have a striker. The good news, that we have to get into a little bit. My boy, it looks like he's close to a return. Bukayo Saka. You may know. Yeah, you may have heard about him. As Trump would say. You may have heard about him, but yeah, he's back in training now. But obviously, he's been out for a while, so I don't know how much stock I really put into these next few weeks.
They're just trying to get this guy ready for Madrid,
bro. That's it, man. Yeah, that's it. It's really
that's
road to Madrid. Road to Madrid 2025. Yeah, I thought to say, bro, if you can walk, you can play. So, I think from that point of view, I just hope that we do it in a responsible way. Like I said, what I do not want now is he comes, we try to force him too quickly, he gets injured again. That's what will set me over the edge. And so, but right now, I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Happy, but calmly happy. You know what I'm saying? There's a word I'm looking for there that I'm not getting, but yeah, I'm happy that he's back, content, but I also don't want these men to also lose their heads and then throw my boy into a dangerous situation where now he's getting injured again. So I hope that they use some common sense with this, bringing him back, and they make sure that he's actually ready. I'd rather go out to Madrid than we bring him back from Madrid and he gets injured now and he's now out for months again. That'll be an L. That'll be a massive, massive L. But the good news is that he's back. We see him on the training pitch, very, very happy. You realize that this football thing, emotions wise, it can make your day, it can break your day, bro. I saw Saka on that pitch. He said, "Back again." I saw. I said, "Praise the Lord." So I'm so happy to see him back, man, and hopefully, he can stay fit, and we definitely need him. Do his job, because like I said, we still don't have a striker. But Marino, fair play to him. He's doing what he can. But that being said, is why this is also a tough game where Fulham are also resilient enough, and we also need to show that in these type of tight matches we have what it takes to break down these type of teams as well. And I feel like that's what I'm still not super confident with, because the Chelsea game, I feel like we were definitely the better team. I think we should have got more goals. I think we were a bit wasteful, but overall it was very stale as well. So it's I'm still not confident now that these type of games are definitely going to pull away and win. But I'll still give us the edge on this one. So yeah, I guess my prediction, and you can kind of get into your analysis, bro, is I'm going for an Arsenal 2-1 win in this game. But yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go 2-0. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how tired Fulham are after that FA Cup fixture.
That's true.
And how much that takes out of them, because I think the game's on Tuesday, the Arsenal Fulham game.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so man, I expect Arsenal to get the job done. I think 2-1's actually a good, because do I think Arsenal keep a clean sheet? Nah, let me go for this. Want to maintain some jeopardy. Do you get me? Yeah, I'll say 2-0.
2-0. I think that's a good result too. And the fact of Fulham was actually a good point as well. So no, I hear it. And then we go to the Merseyside derby. You understand? Like we said, this is going to be a game where, like you touched on, how are the Liverpool fans going to react to Arnold? Understand? What is the atmosphere going to be like in that stadium? Is
He's
he
not
fit,
going to
by the
play
way?
though. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
is
not
he
going to
still
play. He's
injured? Oh, he's
injured.
still injured.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's not
okay,
going to
cool.
play.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
I don't
cool.
think this
All
is
right,
going to be
cool.
that much of a factor here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Fair enough then. I thought he was back for how long is he injured
Yeah.
for then? When is he back?
I think it's a while. Like I think it's still a few weeks. Like I
Okay.
think we're looking at maybe like more closer towards like the end of the season.
Oh man, hey,
Yeah.
man, he might just keep holding onto the ankle and say, boy,
Mm.
I may have played my last game. But
That's
listen,
not. That's not. It will be. I think. Yeah. Again, you know what it is as well. With the Trent thing as well, I also acknowledge the fact that like I'm a Manchester United fan in it, so it's like I think sometimes with these type of things, it's like you need a Liverpool fan to come and explain why you feel the way you do, like about all of this. Like, do you get me? Because it's like I know anything I say, a Liverpool fan's gonna look at it and say, "Bruv, get this guy out of here, man." Like, do you get me? So Man United and Arsenal fans talking about Trent, they said we're not hearing it, but yeah. But yeah, he's injured for this game, so
okay, cool. That won't be a factor then. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, I guess, in general, what the atmosphere is like at the stadium anyway. Because like you kind of alluded to as well, I think the overall energy, but again, it's social media. Who knows what the actual fans in the stadium are like? But the energy seems quite low now off the back of, I guess, this news. And I don't know what's going on. I think I heard that it's a bit more positive with Salah and Van Dijk.
Yeah,
I don't know if
from
you've
what
heard.
I was seeing, it was looking like I think it looks like from reports, it looks like Liverpool are confident that they'll get the both of them to sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, that said, it should still be a tough game. Everton, they haven't actually been that great of late form wise, but they have been getting a lot of draws. Like they haven't lost.
I was about to say I don't think they've lost on them.
They haven't lost yet. But I think the kind of initial upturn in form of winning and has kind of slowed down of late slightly. But yeah, I don't. And then Liverpool as well, they're coming off the back of, I guess, a disappointing Champions League exit, disappointing Cup exit, and then now they play on Everton at home, a game that their fans, it's a must not lose or it's a must win game for them. And to be fair, historically, when it comes back to Anfield, they usually do win this game. So, but I don't know if you think there's any kind of, I guess, risk or jeopardy here for Liverpool in this one off the back of the recent results.
I think it'll be a tough game. I think this will be a tough game. Obviously, the one at Goodison, the last game at Goodison, I think that was 2-2. That was with like the last minute equalizer, sorry. But yeah, I think tough game. Liverpool haven't been in the greatest form. I'm gonna edge Liverpool. I'm gonna say 2-1 Liverpool. I think right now, after everything that's happened, I think what Liverpool just want to win these games as soon as possible and just have the title sewn up. Like, I think
just enjoy the rest of the season.
Yeah, I've got a quick question for you.
Okay,
what would it take? I know right now all Arsenal fans is like title's done. I think most people agree title's done. What would it take for you to raise your eyebrows?
I feel like Liverpool probably have to lose their next two games.
If they lose their next two and you win your next two, would you raise your eyebrow? Would you say,
Yeah, I'll say these they're trying to invite us into this. Invite us into the salaries, of course. Of course. That sounds like an invitation to me. I don't know what it feels like to you, but that sounds like an invitation. And I think I will walk in. Like if that's what they're doing. But I think it's done overall. I don't see it same. Which is why. So I think again, like I said, man, I think if we had put enough pressure on them and there was times when it was the swing was in the right position.
I'm not gonna lie. If now, if the lead was like close, I think Arsenal's got this title. Like, like if it was close, it's because of the gap. Yeah, but if right now, if it was close, because Liverpool, they just look like they're running out of legs, man.
Yeah, they do.
Honestly,
they do.
It looks like they're running out of legs. Maybe I don't know. Maybe after the international break, that will give them like the boost, and they might. But they just looked like it was just you know what it is. It looked like Slot obviously had done a great job But then now that lack of investment in the summer, it was really starting
Start
to
to
like,
catch up on them.
catch up on them. That's
Yeah,
what it was looking like. But
yeah,
no one's close. No one's close enough to make them pay for it. Like,
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of having memories. I feel like that's one of the things I actually thought at the start of the season might also hurt them. But again, we haven't known what we needed to do to be close enough to take advantage of that. So fair play to them, man. It's gonna be another title for them, painfully. But yeah, what are you saying for what are you saying for this fixture prediction?
I'll go
Liverpool,
2-1, 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. Yeah, that's what I had down as well. So I'm gonna match you with that. I'm also gonna go 2-1 Liverpool. I feel like I also agree that it will be a tight match, but I think they'll get over the line. And then the last one, for the people that don't know, the running joke as the the inside Villa fan. I know you have United merchandise around you, but we know who your heart. That's like who you really support.
United till I die, man.
So yeah, you guys have a tough game this weekend, bro. A tough game next week.
I said to you guys.
You guys, you and the mandem. You guys got a tough game. How are you feeling about it? Brighton versus Villa.
I think this is a tough game. It's at Brighton, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think this is a tight game. Oh, and they both got the FA Cup games as well. But you know what? Because Villa have got a much easier FA Cup game.
They do.
But Brighton are going to be home. And Brighton have been in very good form.
They are.
I think I got to go draw, man.
What score are you thinking?
Draw. I am thinking I'm going to go 2-2.
It's actually funny, yeah. That's literally what happened. So I also went 2-2 draw. It
looks like a game with goals, and
that's exactly what it looks like. But that's exactly what it looks like. Both teams are dangerous. Both teams can concede. But yeah, it should be a good game though. But like you say, it'll be interesting to see off the back of the FA Cup games as well, like how fresh both teams are going into it. So yeah, that's definitely the game after the Chelsea Spurs game, the game that I'm probably looking forward to, and also the Liverpool Merseyside game as well, to be fair. But yeah, there's some decent games coming up this week, and even United Forest, it's actually a tough game. So there's actually on reflection, there actually is. Well, coming back to Prem with some tough fixtures.
Oh, bro, if you United's fixture run.
Yeah, I think I saw. You guys have City straight after, don't you?
Yeah, we got City on the weekends. Like, yeah, we've got tough games. Like, it's not gonna be easy at all. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now, bro. Forest away, then we got City at home. Then obviously we got Lyon away in the Europa. Then we got Newcastle away. And then we've got the Lyon at home. Then we got Wolves at home. Then Bournemouth away, Brentford away, West Ham at home, Chelsea away, and Villa at home, bro. Those are our last games. we got a tough run, bro.
Yeah. I remember used to finish the season in a feel good mood.
we got a tough run.
Mood. Yeah, that's crazy. Run. That's a tough run of games for sure. That is a tough run of games for sure. Oh boy, good luck. I wish you and Amram the best. But
I know you don't mean that, but
I will. I'm hoping that you guys recreate that form that you had when you came in. That form that you guys were in. But so those are the Premier League predictions. It should be interesting to see what happens. And then now we are at the final segment of the stream, bro. This is the time of the stream where we talk about this thing called FPL. And again, I'm going to just start by saying, Leicester, you made an enemy of me. Okay? I don't know how much more I can say it. Leicester, you made an enemy of me. Because I was looking at your points here and I said, how can Major have 65 points in a game week where like most players weren't even playing? There must be something sneaky going on here. Let me investigate. So I started investigating, bro. I looked at your team. I said, oh, okay. Ariola, okay. Timber, that's a good shout. Robinson, cool. Asemblienko 5, okay, yeah, decent. I see Bruno Fernandes 34 points. I say, who gave this guy 34 points? I said, Leicester. You made an enemy of me. Okay. You made an enemy of me. Not only did they screw me in the prediction table, they screwed me in FPL as well.
FPL as well.
Like, so honestly, man, I don't know. What do you want to say about your team?
Yeah, no, I think, it's that Bruno decision was like, yeah, that was a very good play from me. And to be fair on me as well, I'd brought in Bruno, like, and I'd thought I was gonna captain him like for a while still. So that wasn't even like a last minute thing. Like I said, you know what? Because I was looking at the week and I was thinking, cool. There's Chris Wood, which I think obviously they had Ipswich, which is mad because obviously Forest scored 4 goals and he didn't and he didn't bag, which is unlike him. And then I think some people, like if you had Haaland, obviously that made sense to go with him as regards to captain. I think you did. So yeah, and I was just thinking, who am I gonna captain? And then I just said, you know what? Bruno's been in nasty form, man. Like I thought, the goal against Everton, I think that was a 10-pointer. I think against Arsenal, he got a 9-pointer. In the reverse fixture against Leicester, he got a 17-pointer as well. And then in the Europa, he scored a hat-trick. And I just thought, you know what? I'm backing Bruno with this. Because I thought United were going to beat Leicester. And I just didn't see how Bruno's not involved in the goals we score. So I just said, and I thought it would be, it's kind of like, I think we're reaching the stage where it's like, I'm trying to pick my differentials, like carefully, like I'm trying to calculate them. I'm thinking, cool, when's a good, you don't want to do the dumb differential where it's just like, hey man,
that sets you further back.
Yeah, further back, but you want to pick your moments. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with Bruno. And that was a good decision because like I think obviously captaining him being captain helps, but then also for the people that also don't have him, then that's literally a whole 34 points.
Crazy.
Like that another team doesn't have. So that's what made this a good blank game week for me. It was the Bruno decision. So
it was a good move. It was a good move. Like fair play. And the Woods one, that one I know was the one that hurt a lot of people because I think that was the main kind of captain I saw a lot of people go for. Just to I guess see him not get the points. And like Neto, I said, man, they need to rethink where they're playing this guy. I've been a fan of him, but that up front position that they try to play him against Arsenal, I said I don't want to ever see that again. I don't want to ever see that again. It was so bad. But and then Timber, this is the one that pains me because he's been a good cheap defender for people. We've had him for a while now. So
Timber did it, and then Robinson as well. I wasn't expecting that. I never thought Fulham would keep a clean sheet. So and it could have even been because literally West Ham, like Everton scored in like the 91st minute, like which wiped out the Areola clean sheet and the extra point for Bowen as well. So
so it could have been worse. I'm thankful that that didn't happen. And then we unfortunately go to my team. And I knew it was a black game week, so I wasn't really expecting much. I think what was just painful is how well you did, if I'm being honest. I feel like I kind of expected everyone to be about the same, only for you to pop out and pull further ahead, which was painful. I will be honest. But and then I think the kind of main things I did in this team, I think I voted in Clive because I thought, you know what, between the two of them, they'll do something for me. They didn't. This was a big move because, like I said, I think I'm also in that position now where I also need to start thinking about differentials. I knew Haaland is a player that a lot of people don't have in their teams, and it just takes City to hit the right type of form, and he could start helping me climb up the table. I knew that he would help me in this game week, and hopefully going forward he can do something for me. But I definitely have to rethink my team. I know this is a big weekend where a lot of people are, I guess, deciding their chip strategies, whether they're wild card, whether they're free hitting, whether they're. So I definitely need to do a lot more thinking about exactly what I'm going to do. But definitely gonna have to make some big changes going into the final few game weeks if I want to have any hope of catching you. Because yes, you are pulling away now, for 60 points. So fair play. And then we always, as we always do, we look at how the person in first place is doing. Unorthodox change. Let's see. Yeah, he didn't have the greatest week as well. Because yeah, like I said, this is what I expected from everyone. Like
Yeah,
Leicester
it's a
didn't do what
survivor
they did.
week.
Yeah,
It's a
this is what I was
survivor week. Yeah, I think it was literally that Bruno decision that
like.
that flipped it for me.
I'm interested on Kirkes too because I heard that he might be out, but I don't know. It's clearly not updated on here. I don't know if he actually is out. That might be one to
Okay.
have a look at. But again, it might be incorrect information. But yeah, looking at his team, yeah, looks pretty standard. Yeah, Palmer, that's another one. I'm actually quite happy because I thought I made a mistake at first because I think I sold him. I wanted to get rid of him, but then I was worried that if he actually played against Arsenal, then I actually should have sold maybe Salah and then brought him back in. But it ended up working out because he didn't play anyway. But I don't know if that was a happy accident or it hurt other people who maybe thought he was going to play and he didn't. So, but all in all, I think it was definitely those weeks that you just kind of just get by, get through. Hopefully the damage isn't too bad and you try to make it up with, I guess, your strategy going forward. I feel like, go on, sir.
No, I was about to say, I think this was one of those weeks as well where it was just like, it for a lot of people, like myself included, I think it just wasn't worth playing a chip. Like, so yeah, it was like you just try to survive. And then, thankfully I had like a very good captaincy decision. But yeah, now as regards to chip strategy, now I've really got to start thinking what it is that I want to do because, I think that's going to be very decisive over the next few weeks.
No, 100%, 100%. And I think I guess final words for people that don't know already. Obviously, me and Major, we have a unfriendly competition going on where we compete in FPL and we also compete in our prediction table. And whoever wins both of those competitions, they get to select the kit of their choice, which is concerning me right now, which is why I need to lock in. That's some insight into what's going on in my mind right now. I'm speaking out loud. But that said, there's a few more game weeks to go, so hopefully I need to definitely start turning it around. But that's kind of where we are FPL wise. I don't know if you have any final thoughts or words going into this next game week, bro.
I think it's just one of them ones where the FA Cup fixtures, I think they're going to be interesting because I think after that, I think we'll have a bit more clarity as regards to like who's potentially doubling, etc. So I think I'm definitely. I think my wild card is coming soon. Like I just don't know when yet. So I think I'm just trying to because I've still got my wild card, I've still got my triple captain, I've still got my free hit, and bench boost, so like there are a lot of chips to use. So and obviously you can only use one like per week. So I've really got to start thinking about what it is that I want to do and when.
I think I'm gonna have to get a print out with the upcoming game weeks. Start circling what chip is being used when, bro. I feel like that's where I'm at now. Because I know the price of those United kits are not cheap. So I think I'm gonna have to do some homework. Some research. So I mean that's where I'm currently at. So we'll keep it going. We'll keep the people updated. As always, if you're not already part of the league, you're going to see it right going under scrolly at the bottom of the screen. You just went past. You could also catch it in the description to join the league. And hopefully, this is a segment that we just kind of build up on as we go. And we incorporate a bit more into future streams. And so if you want to be involved, please do join the league and let us know any thoughts of how we can improve the segment as well. Any maybe questions or things that you think will be useful for us to add in. Because I guess we're trying to add that balance of people who actually really watch football and enjoy it and people who enjoy FPO as well. We're trying to mesh that in the right way is our intentions. But bro, I think that being said, that is everything on the agenda. Like I said, it was going to be a long stream, a lot to get through, but I think it was a good one. It was a nice stream back after, I guess, a couple of weeks out after the international break. But how are you feeling?
Hey man, like I think like you said, international break, we're about to get back to the football. I think this is now we're getting to this like April, May, this business end of the season. Like this is where it's like, you know, we're gonna have to be streaming after decisive results. Like,
Shit.
you get me? So this is
Don't catch me
this
after
where-
a Real Madrid win.
Bro,
Bro, our women's team went through.
That's what
I
I'm
said,
saying.
if the men's team does this for me,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
be there.
yeah. Shout out to the women's team because
Yeah.
they came back from 2-0 down in the first leg to win 3-0. Like, so yeah, they're through to the semis. I also saw that the Chelsea women's team as well. They lost their first leg 2-0 to City, and they came back to win 3-0 in the second leg as well. So yeah, the Women's Champions League, I think it's going to be interesting. I think Chelsea, they've got Barca, and I think Arsenal have Lyon, I think, in the semis. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So yeah, I think so. Yeah, man. Like, your women's team is set pace. So let's see what the men are on. But yeah, and yeah, with me, bro, yeah, man, it's this Europa League, man. Like, bro, these, like, honestly, bro, the sigh of relief I breathed when we got past Real Sociedad, I was like, and then now we've got Leon, and I'm like, okay, yeah, man, we go again. Like, do you get me? And it's just bit by bit, but yeah, what this can do to the context of our season is crazy. It's crazy.
If you guys get Champions League football off the back of this year, nah, man, they need to redo the rules. That should be illegal. They should actually, they should give it to the
bro.
Bro,
Champions League football and the European trophy. Hey, from this position, I will take it.
I don't need to see that.
I will take it. Hey, so yeah, man. But we'll see. A long way to go, man. Because like I said, in the Europa League, there's teams that are currently therefore better than us. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that Frankfurt Spurs game too is gonna be massive because I think for me, they're the team that everyone needs to be looking at to beat because
I think Frankfurt and then Bilbao as well, man. Yeah, because Bilbao, I think if we were to get past Lyon, like, I think Bilbao will progress, and I think that's potentially what we're looking at. Which, yeah, man, eesh. And I think the final's being held in Bilbao as well.
Oh, so,
yeah. So, hey,
nice. Hey, it'll shake you off.
Hey.
Damn.
Amorim, hey, show me something. Hey, I'm trying to do, you know what you did with the Isak ahead of the League Cup final?
You will it.
Bruno, I know you've got something for me. My captain, please. Please. But yeah, man. Hey, man, been another good stream. Like I always say, man, thankful to whoever's tuned in, whether it's 30 seconds, 1 minute, half an hour, the whole stream. And yeah, man, whoever's liked, shared, and subscribed, we appreciate it, and please continue to do so. And yeah, man, like, I hope everyone has a good weekend.
Yeah, for real. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in. And as always, and like we always say, we need to get better at doing this earlier in the episodes. But please, if you are watching this and you're still here at this point, then please leave a like. And if you watch it later on too, please leave a like, leave a comment. It does a lot for the stream. And yeah, hopefully, we can just build on from here, get some momentum going into, like you say, the business end of the season. So should be a lot of football, a lot of streams coming up. So definitely tune in if you find this entertaining, which I hope you do. Thank you, everyone. See you guys on the next stream.